The horse actually looks fit, and he was. I thought his coat was perhaps a little bit on the dull side. It's only minor. I thought his coat was perhaps a little bit on the dull side.
Everything else is
it's only minor.
I thought
All right, there you go. Those are the 12 runners. Jockeys jumping on board. We'll be heading out very shortly. Still 10 minutes out here. So while Jenny puts her top 4 together, Paul, have a look at the market.
Might run through the lot because we didn't really get a chance earlier on here. Electric Lightning at 16, California Legend 11, Enormous Honor at 10, Fine With Me 8.7, Hurricane Hunter 4.4, Good Runners Way 95, Art of Raw 37, 10 About Bundle of Energy 6.1, Chaparral Stars right in the market, 30 Spinning
I thought he
77, and down the bottom second favourite is Lucky Shiny Day at 5.1.
All right, Jenny, 9 minutes out, so there's no real hurry. It's quite an open betting race, as Paul's just highlighted. How did it look from the paddock?
From the parade, I've gone with the 5 here. He hasn't boiled over, so I think that's a good sign. He's still very much on his toes, but in a good way. The horse looked terrific when he first walked into the parade, and he really did catch the eye. Nice and healthy in his coat. He's a strong-bodied horse. There he is on screen. He looks good. He's really alert as well. So I'm happy enough to have him on top, the 5. From number 3, I thought Enormous Honor, the old horse, paraded really well once again. That's typical and normal of him, though. But he's in good shape at the moment. I thought the 4 had to go in, Fine With Me. He just got a little bit on his toes when his jockey jumped on board, but has resettled. So he's in good order. He's just nicely, neatly put together. And of the rest, it's a bit of a toss-up between the 1 and the 8, but I would probably side with the 1. He's a very fit-looking horse from the Ferraris yard, and he's really healthy too. Looks good into Class 4. I know he was disappointing last time, but the way he presents here, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he ran better, because he does look well. So I've gone this way, 5, 3, 4 and 1.
Yeah, I thought he was a touch on the disappointing side last time, Electric Lighting as well. But we'll see what he does tonight. And Berta Ripley in the saddle, 16 and 4.5. It's a sporting price, Tom. But Hurricane Hunter came out on top. What do you like?
Yeah, I've gone with 4, 5, 8 and 9 here in the first tonight. Andrew's runners are about to head out onto the track. Fine With Me. It's a race where there's a number of hopes in this Class 4 1650, so I've decided to take a little bit of a price around him at 870 and 290. Settled rearwards. He picked a path between runners over the concluding stages in that race over 1,400 metres at Sha Tin behind Perfect Pair. Last time out, he was only beaten a neck on that occasion. So I like what he did. He's a 2-time course and distance winner. He's got a couple of placings next to his name, and Jimmy Ting and Jack Wong teaming up with the 4 Fine With Me. 5 Hurricane Hunter. He's the favourite here, loose favourite, however, at 430 and 180. Zach Purton and Deniship. He made some ground late in the piece, out wider on the track when he was a beaten favourite behind Dragon Dance. Of course, he did get his win 4 runs ago now over the 1,400 metres, beating home Victor Emperor, but he's certainly been well supported in recent runs, has Hurricane Hunter. I threw an 8 Bundle of Energy. He's at 10 and 3.2. He's had just a couple of 4th placings in his 3 attempts here over this course and a distance, the son of Reliable Man. He's drawn nicely here. He went off favourite 4 runs ago, chased home Alpha Hedge last time out. It was a fair run from him. He's yet to win here, but not a bad price around him if you happen to fancy him at 10 and 3.2. And of the rest, Chaparral Star. He's at 6 and 2.2. Casper Founds and Joe Moreira yet to win in this class, but he has won 2 through his career, both over 1,400 metres. Has placed on 3 occasions. Course and distance has Chaparral Star, and he is drawn nicely tonight compared to the outside gate he had last start behind Splendour and Gold. So I'll go 4, 5, 8 and 9 to open the programme, Paul, as they make their way to the start.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I got the 4 on top as well. I thought coming back to Happy Valley was the key for him. He's won off a rating of 44. He's rated 47 now, the claim. So I think he's got a good chance in this. The 4, good each way price. To beat the 9, hit Chaparral Star. Yet to win here at Happy Valley, but has run some really good races. Joe Moreira should get a nice run from barrier 3 on board Chaparral Star. So 4 to beat the 9. The 12, Lucky Shiny Day, does everything but win. He's run a few good seconds here. And the 5, Hurricane Hunter. Another one who doesn't win out of turn, but he has got plenty of ability. 4, 9, 12, 5 for me, Andrew. Yeah, 4 for me as well, Paul. Similar sort of thought process to yourself. I think Perfect Pair, the winner of that race last time, we haven't seen since, but I think will turn out to be okay as the around this sort of class at any rate. So Fine With Me. Yes, he was a big price last time, but I don't think it was a fluke. He might have been over the odds in actual fact. Happy with him on top.
8.7, 2.7 is an each-way price. So Chaparral Star, his 2 wins, yes, have been at Sha-Tin, but he has run very well here at Happy Valley in the past. And from barrier 3, Joey should put him to sleep, and I think he should finish off quite strongly. Of the others, well, Lucky Shiny Day, he's had his opportunities, 14 of them in actual fact, without winning. He was beaten favourite on his last 3 starts, so he's taken a fair bit with him. But he's hard to leave out of the wider exotics. And a toss-up for 4th place. Brett, I thought it was a number of horses you could have gone with. Ended up with Bundle of Energy, though, because well, he's just a thorn stuck in my side as much as anything else. But he's got the ability. He's finished off quite strongly in the past. And second up here, we might see some improvement.
I think 2 interesting points around him are, one, Jenny mentioned he trialled well here prior to his last start, which was basically first up. The other one is there was quite a heavy place bet on him in the early stages of betting Bundle of Energy. He was money back place there for a long time, so it could be a little positive alongside of his name. 2549 for me. I thought this was one of the races where you could make a case for a number of horses. I have had a lot of time for Hurricane Hunter. He's disappointed me a few times, so I've just relegated him back to second. I'm going to take a chance with California Legend. I thought he ran a better race last start. He's my each way play of the night. I think he'll find the front, and I don't think there's a lot of pace, so that's more the reason I've sort of leaned towards him. If he gets attacked for the lead, well, I'm probably in trouble, but I'll take a chance with the 2 each way. 5 Hurricane Hunter, 4 Fine With Me, ran well last start. He loves the course and distance. Chaparral Star, he's been thereabouts for most of his runs this term, and with Joe on from 3, I wanted to sneak him in. I would include Bundle of Energy for the reason I mentioned before, but 2, 5, 4 and 9 for me as we head back to Jenny for a recap.
All right, number 5 on top for me, Hurricane Hunter. I thought he paraded really nicely. He was just on his toes a little bit, but he didn't get too hot and bothered. Having his first go past the 1400 here today, but he is better drawn. He had a genuine excuse last time from gate number 14, so I'm happy with him on top. The 5 from number 3, Enormous Honour, the old boy. He's an 8-year-old now, but he still looks good. He's often parading well, and he's done that again here. Gate 10 for him here, so he'll need a little bit to go his way. I thought the 4 paraded next best, Fine With Me. Nicely, neatly put together horse. A winner of just the 3 races in 30 attempts. But he's won a couple of them here over the 1650 at the Valley. So this is his favourite. And of the rest, well, toss up between the 1 and the 8. They both look good. The 8 got a little bit warm, so I've just sided with the 1 there, Electric Lightning, having his second go here in Class 4. I would expect that he could possibly improve. He does look really fit and healthy. So 5, 3, 4 and 1. Oh, sorry, and I shall give you the retirements. And we have a number of them too. We've got 10, in fact. Wow. So starting with Ty Smart from the Frankie Law Yard, Tom's Dragon from John Sizes, a horse called Aishin Mobius from Japan originally, with the Chris Soyard, who never raced. So unfortunate for the connections there. Super Hippograph, who had 1 run on the weekend. So that was short and sweet for him, or short and not so sweet, from the Jimmy Ting Yard. Traffle Ambassador from Richard Gibson. My Blessing, who'd been around for a while, from the Dennis Shipyard. Sea Pearl from John Moore. Also Sea Jade from John Moore. Sunshine Holiday, Ricky Yu. And Back in Black from David Halsyard, who put a string of wins together there for a while, but wasn't able to get it back together.
Yeah, he was multiple. How many did he win? 5 round here? Or something?
Yeah, 5 in one season.
And CJ again. He
won plenty.
5 in one season as well, maybe.
A few old favourites here. Tom's Dragon, Travel Ambassador, amongst others.
Super Hippogriff.
Super Hippogriff only had the 1 stay. It was tailed off, to be fair, on debut.
All right.
The play's 4 each way in this, which is Fine With Me at 9 and 280. I think is a good price.
Okay, and as far as the market's concerned, it's still a wideish sort of market. The favourites trimmed up a bit.
Yeah, into 3.7 from 4.3. So plenty of support around him. Lucky Shiny Days just shifted out a little bit to 5.4. Then after that, 6 about Chaparral Star and 9 about Fine With Me.
All right, feature race is race number 4 this evening. That's the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. They're moving up for our first event. Tom, Zach Purton on the favourite. He's got a number of good rides tonight, the champion jockey. See how he gets on in the first.
Thanks, Andrew, as they line up for race number 1. First of 8 here tonight. Good crowd in attendance so far for the early part of the evening, and beginning to fill up down there in the beer garden. This race starting right in front of them, 1,650 metres for the Diaguila Peak Handicap, Class 4 to open the program tonight, 360. About Hurricane Hunter, who is the race favourite, 360 and 150. He's coming forward now, Bundle of Energy, California Legend with Chaparral Star and Art of Raw, the last couple. And we'll be ready for action as Chaparral Star goes in. Art of Raw comes up. Race number 1. Good luck if you're joining us here tonight. They are ready. C+3, good conditions underway and racing in the first. Chaparral Star settles back, and Lucky Shiny Days going down to the inside. One of the first away was Chaparral Star. It was Enormous Honor who settled back. California Legend up on the pace. Art of Raw right there, and Savvy 7 over on the inside. A Bundle of Energy. Hurricane Hunter, who's midfield between runners from on the inside. Electric Lightning, Spinning Dancer. Fine With Me, 1.5 away. Good Runners Way, 2 to Lucky Shiny Day, and the last of them is Enormous Honor as they gallop inside the 1200 metres, 27.60. So not a bad first section as they run up into the back of the track. 1,000 metres left to go. California Legend by a length and a half on Art of Raw. Chaparral Star 1.5 to Bundle of Energy. Savvy 7 is camped over on the rail midfield. A length and a half clear on Hurricane Hunter, who's one off the rail. Electric Lightning sliding through on the paint. Spinning Dancer 3 wide, cutting at the breeze. Fine With Me, Enormous Honor, Good Runner's Way, and Lucky Shiny Day. They're the last few as they run towards the 600 metres. California Legend leading a length on Art of Raw second. Chaparral Star now niggled at third. Savvy 7 travelling okay on the fence from Bundle of Energy. 2 lengths Electric Lightning. Hurricane Hunter, he's now beyond midfield. Then came Spinning Dancer. Fine With Me, Enormous Honor, Good Runner's Way, and Lucky Shiny Day. California Legend turns in first. Chaparral Star, Savvy 7, Art of Raw now beginning to yield ground, and Bundle of Energy down the outside. Savvy 7 with 150 metres left to go is about to be claimed by Chaparral Star. Savvy 7 kicking. Chaparral Star, Bundle of Energy. Chaparral Star going home the better. He wins over Savvy 7 and Bundle of Energy. Fourth maybe Hurricane Hunter from Electric Lightning. Enormous Honor, California Legend, Fine With Me, Lucky Shiny Day, Good Runner's Way further out. They were followed in turn by Art of Raw and Spinning Dancer back towards the tail in the first. Chaparral Star and Joe Moreira win here from a good gate tonight for Casper Founds. Casper's 23rd win of the season, Joe's 46th win of the season. And the 4-year-old son of High Chaparral breaks the drought here in the Class 4. Wins his first race here at the 16th attempt. First race course and distance as well for a Chaparral Star, who's beat home number 11, Savvy 7, Regan Bayliss and John Moore. 8, Bundle of Energy, Vincent Ho, David Hall. And 5, Hurricane Hunter, Zach Purden and Dennis Ship. 9, 11, 8 and 5, a neck by a neck, and 139.20. That's inside standard, 140.65. In the first, Chaparral Star settles back, and Lucky Shiny Days going down to the inside. One of the first away was Chaparral Star. It was Enormous Honor who settled back. California Legend up on the pace. Art of Raw right there, and Savvy 7 over on the inside. A Bundle of Energy. Hurricane Hunter, who's midfield between runners from on the inside. Electric Lightning, Spinning Dancer. Fine With Me, 1.5 away. Good Runner's Way, 2 to Lucky Shiny Day, and the last of them is Enormous Honor as they gallop inside the 1200 metres, 27.60. So not a bad first section as they run up into the back of the track. 1,000 metres left to go. California Legend by a length and a half on Art of Raw. Chaparral Star 1.5 to Bundle of Energy. Savvy 7 is camped over on the rail midfield. A length and a half clear on Hurricane Hunter, who's one off the rail. Electric Lightning sliding through on the paint. Spinning Dancer 3 wide, cutting at the breeze. Fine With Me, Enormous Honor, Good Runner's Way, and Lucky Shiny Day. They're the last few as they run towards the 600 metres. California Legend leading a length on Art of Raw second. Chaparral Star now niggled at third. Savvy 7 travelling okay on the fence from Bundle of Energy. 2 lengths Electric Lightning. Hurricane Hunter, he's now beyond midfield. Then came Spinning Dancer. Fine With Me, Enormous Honor, Good Runner's Way, and Lucky Shiny Day. California Legend turns in first. Chaparral Star, Savvy 7, Art of Raw now beginning to yield ground, and Bundle of Energy down the outside. Savvy 7 with 150 metres left to go is about to be claimed by Chaparral Star. Savvy 7 kicking. Chaparral Star, Bundle of Energy. Chaparral Star going home the better. He wins over.
Yep, Joe Moreira, Casper Founds taking out the first. 9, 11, 8 and 5. So Savvy 7 battling on well, as did Bundle of Energy, finding the line nicely. And then Hurricane Hunter a fourth, but a distant fourth. A neck by a neck, 139.2. So again, it's a fairly quick time. The lead section was inside of 28, so they went reasonably quick through that first split. But overall, the time is very fast. It's over a second inside of standard. So Wonder whether we might get another upgrade of the track. We'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, Andrew has the provisionals on race 1.
Yeah, we did last week,
Yes.
didn't we? So we'll stand by for more news on that. But 39.50, the very well-backed Chaparral Star salutes here. 11 runs second. That was Savvy 7 at 37.50. 8 in third. Bundle of Energy 33 and 5 in fourth. Hurricane Hunter. Quinella 222.50 on 9 and 11. The Trio 8, 9 and 11 for 834. And the Tierce 9, 11, 8 for $3,213. A neck by a neck, 139.2 the time. Jenny, for the once formidable partnership of Casper Fownes and Joe Moreira. They don't get many opportunities anymore.
No, not really, because he is, of course, contracted with the John Size yard, but he's done a terrific job on this horse from gate number 3. Gave him a lovely ride. He was just in behind the pace there and pulled him out on the turn, and the horse was able to go on with it. He's not a very easy ride, I don't think, but I thought Joe handled him very well. Those early sectionals were really quick, so he's done a pretty good job. It was sort of set up for the horses running on, but he was handy enough.
Yeah, he upset my long shot, to be honest, but that's what won the race for him too. He did utilise barrier 3. I thought he might just sit there, but he hunted early, got the spot he wanted, and then allowed the other horses to come around him. In the meantime, a couple had to work wider out. That produced a fairly quick lead section, and then a following sectional that was quite quick, as Jenny just mentioned. Off the back, he was hard ridden there for a portion, but he did respond to Joe. He'd been racing okay at Sha-Tin. It's not a surprise to see him win at all. Got the job done. Savvy 7, he's been up and down, hit and miss, but he ran a good race tonight in second. And Bundle of Energy, there was a lot of support to suggest he'd hit the frame, and that he's done. He's only been beaten half a length in the end. And that Trio, Paul, well clear of the rest. Hurricane Hunter got home for 4th, but that was the best he could do.
Yeah, he didn't even look like getting in the placings, did he? He was well back, and the other 3 had cleared out, so they were clearly the best on the night.
I think an excuse for Fine with me. He got, despite the quick time, he was actually keen and galloping on the heels. Yeah. Sort of early mid part of that race. So he'll keep for another day.
He will. Of course, Casper Fownes got Southern Legend running it to Meydan on
Drew Barrier 1 for the turf.
Saturday night our time. It'll be Saturday afternoon Dubai time. Barrier 1's a real positive. As we take a look at the patrol, you can see gate 3 was quite at work, wasn't he, Joe Moreira, early stages. Zach Purton on Hurricane Hunter was happy to let the pace go, and he kicked through inside of California Legend, so he had to just sit outside, and then they had Art of Raw making a line of 3. So Joe just decided, here, I'll pop down to the rail and you fellas can go on with it. California Legend did, and so too did Art of Raw, and that did generate a fairly quick lead section. And both first and second are a little bit keen on the bridle, whereas you can see Chaparral Star, he's come back underneath Joe. Back in the field, Savvy 7, posied up well, Bundle of Energy as well. Hurricane Hunter kept spinning Dancer deep. Electric Lightning couldn't get a forward spot tonight. You can see Fine with Me, they're over racing, as Andrew mentioned, when they did slacken a little bit climbing the hill. Good runner's way. Lucky Shiny Day didn't get into the race, and neither did Enormous Honour.
No, Electric Lightning was just...
Is at 4.5, winning control of 6.1. Little Island there at 52. 5.4 Royal Racer. Dr. Race is out to 87. Golden Kid, a big price at 30. Clearling Luxury 23. 31 Love Chunghwa. Superior Boys well over 100 to 1.
All right, the track has been upgraded after the first. It was a quick time in the first, well over a second inside of standard. So good to firm after race 1. Good to firm now, the official going.
All right, waiting for the horses to make their way down. They shouldn't be too far away. Just touched very quickly on Southern Legend. We'll be running in the Dubai Turf on Saturday night in Dubai. Almond Eye will be favourite for that race, of course. The Japan Cup winner from last season. She drew barrier 7. The other Hong Kong horses, we've got Fight Hero going around the Golden Shaheen. He drew 10 of 10. So a wide gate for him. They do go around the turn on the dirt over the 1,200 metres. Wishful Thinker drew 13 of 13, but that's down the straight. And Gold Mount drew 10 of 10 as well. So all the high numbers, except for Southern Legend. But Ryan Moore's got 2 miles to work things out from barrier 10, so it's not a massive concern.
And he gets back generally as well, so that probably doesn't seem to be an issue. I guess, you know, 13, if you were at Sha-Tin for Wishful Thinker, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Whether it's good at Meydan, we'll have to wait and see. I've seen 1 or 2 in that part of the track in years gone by perform well. I get the feeling he can be quite competitive despite the strength of the field. Southern Legend's a good barrier. And of course, Zach and Joe both heading there. Zach's got 1 right. Joe's got, I think, 5.
Yeah, he rides Fight Hero and a number of Japanese horses. But we'll come back to that because the horse is in the yard here for the second.
Salto Olympico on screen. Jenny's got...
was fairly attractive as well. So I think this horse could run well again. He's a very stocky, strong-bodied horse. He's not very tall. He does need a little loosen up in front, but he looks in good order. His behaviour is very good. And I think he does parade well by his standards. So I've got to leave him there with a chance.
Yeah, it was a good win last start by Rule the Roost. So if there's natural improvement going into tonight, he's likely to be difficult to beat again, despite having to carry 6 pound more. Mr. Monty has showed at his last couple, they've been in the easier contest, the easier grade, that he's getting back to some of his better form. He's drawn well, blinkers back on.
Yeah, interesting move putting those blinkers back on. Gate 2 for him as well, and you've got Zach on board as well. So there's a few little positives there to suggest he could go better. He's very quiet and well behaved. He looks like he's walking out nicely enough. He's never been a strong-bodied horse. Behind, he probably picks that off hind up just a little high. That's the only negative. Everything else is good. He's fit and very relaxed.
All right, that is Mr. Monty from Barrier 2. I'd imagine he'll be rolling forward. 5 pounds better off with Rule the Roost on their last meeting, but he was beaten 4.
Go forward, it's a bit hard to tell what he's going to do because he did go forward last start. Prior to that, he went back, but with the 7 pound claimer on, I think the option might be to roll forward. With this guy, I think the option might be to be a little bit more patient. Top weight, wide barrier, not an overly big horse. First go in this class, there is some pace underneath him, so maybe they'll go back with Faithful Trinity, but he looks interesting in this race, Jenny, because it's easier competition.
Yeah, it definitely does. And there was plenty of money for him last time in Class 3 as well. He was 20 to 1 into into 9 to 1. So that would suggest that he was expected to run well in that class. And with the class drop, looks well suited. Now, he's a stocky, strong-bodied horse. He's sensible enough with his 2 handlers there. He does walk out cleanly. He does carry a little bit of weight around the midsection, but he's healthy enough and fluent. So I think he looks good.
Yeah, a runner of interests for me, definitely Faithful Trinity. This is Little Island. Manfred man Matthew Poon from Barrier 3. 10 pounds better off for a 6th length beating by Rule the Roost last time.
Now, I think his last 3 have been quite poor, but he was a winner 4 starts ago, so he can bob up every now and again. He's still got a touch of his winter coat left, healthy enough in his coat though, and he's a moody galloper. You can see the sourness just there when another handler went over. He's also sweating up just slightly as well, and been on his toes on and off. So look, he's okay. He never really grabs me from the parade just with his attitude, so place chance for me.
Casper Found's looking for a race to race double. Royal Racer does come to the Valley for the 2nd time. He's had 1 run so far from his 6th that's seen him in the frame, and that was 3 back. I get the feeling he likes a bit of galloping room, this guy.
Yeah, look, he's been a little bit agitated throughout this parade. He's got a couple of handlers on him, but he's just very much on his toes. He's quite an athletic type. So I wouldn't be worried about the fitness aspect, but he's starting to get slightly warm as well. For me, another one I'd have more so on a place line.
He nearly squished Vincent Ho against the rail then.
He did. He got out of that one quite nicely, but he has noticeably been on his toes throughout. So I'll have another crack at him. Dr. Race, Jenny will look at. Generally gets back, stays on, if he's in form, quite strongly. Regan Bayless will ride from Barrier 9.
Yeah, look, he's not the most smooth walking horse behind Dr. Race these days. He is getting on a bit. He's a 7-year-old and he always requires a fair bit of speed to produce his best. He always carries a little bit of condition as well. I think he looks okay. His attitude is good. But, yeah, just behind, he's not clean. He puts that off hind down a bit quick. That's the only thing. So, for me, just a place chance.
Dr. Race, yes, stepping up to the longer trip for just the 2nd time in his career. Golden Kid, getting close to a drop in grade. I tend to think he might be better suited down in Class 5, but he can bob up from time to time.
Yes, he can. Now, I've just got to wait for Royal Racer to go past because he's just... they put Vincent on board and he was just playing up a touch. So I shall get to Golden Kid, who can be a bit cheeky himself, actually. You can just see he's on his toes a little bit here. He does look alert, though, and he does look very healthy. He's strong enough. He carries a bit of weight as well around the midsection, but his overall strength's good. He needs a little loosen up in front as well, so just a place chance for me.
All right, Curling Luxury, Jenny, the 10, should roll forward from barrier 5. He's a 4-time course and distance winner.
A pretty sort of relaxed and fluent walking horse, and he is very fit, probably looking as well as he can at the moment. Really healthy shine to his coat too, so I can give him an each-way chance. He doesn't look bad at all.
That's Curling Luxury horse number 10, front-running type, who was 5th last start behind Craig Starr. That was Sha Tin, 7th behind Rule the Roost, beaten 5 when he led 2 back. Love Chungwa. Interesting. I'm going to throw him into the tips. He hasn't had that much racing over the longer trips. He's always finding the line at 1200. He's going to get a mile race here at the Valley where there should be some tempo. So could be the recipe for a little bit of a rough result into the picture.
Well, you can look at it that way. You can also look at his offer rating of 43, and he's not too far off the class drop as well. But he's a very calm and relaxed horse. He's not totally smooth in front. He needs a little loosen up in that area, but he has got some good strength in those hindquarters, and I do like his laid-back attitude. So he actually parades okay. Place claims for me.
Love Chungwa. This is Superior Boy. Looked pretty good winning on the all-weather in class 5. It's got barrier 10 here, though, which I thought made it look on the tricky side for him.
Yeah, now he's not far off the class drop either, off a rating of 42 here, so he'd probably be better suited with that. But he is going out at massive odds. I'm going to have one more look at him because this horse often does parade quite nicely. And when he went past me before, I couldn't find any real faults with him. So just let me have another look, just because he's those sort of odds. You don't want to miss them. He walks out cleanly. His attitude is good. He's very strong. He's got a bit of scope about him, and he does look fit and healthy. So if you do happen to fancy him at those sort of odds, nothing wrong with him.
He's actually quite big. He's well over 100 to 1 here, isn't he, Superior Boy? So might be interesting. 15 a place. Jack Wong in the saddle. The horse is streaming out onto the track here for the second event. So while Jenny puts her top 4 together, Paul, we'll have a quick look at the market.
2.9 about Rule the Roost, plenty of support for him. Mr. Monty, he's there at 4.6, 5.7 about Winning Controller, 6 about Royal Racer, drifting out after those all-ups, 8.9 about Faithful Trinity. So plenty in with a show here as far as the punt is concerned. Then we're out to 20 about Salto Olympico, 21 Curling Luxury, 29 Golden Kid, and also Love Chungwa. He's also there at 29.
Thank you, Paul. 6 minutes out. Let's head back to Jenny now for the top 4 on race number 2.
All right, on top for me, I'm going to go with the number 2 here, Salto Olympico. Now, it's probably a little on the sharp side for him. I would prefer him over further, but gee, looks well. He looks a treat. He's really healthy. He was beautifully behaved this entire. He looks in great shape, and he was able to run second last time over the 1800 on the C+3 here. So, you know, in fact, it might be a bit sharp. Maybe they'll want to use him up a little bit to get across from gate 12. I'd take the chance at those sort of odds with him. He looks a treat. There he is on screen, just nicely on his toes behind the gates. Number 5, Winning Controller. I like the look of him last time, and he looks equally as well here tonight as well. I would expect a decent enough run from gate 4, well enough drawn to get a good run here. So he's in good shape. I thought the 10 was next best, Curling Luxury. Really laid-back, relaxed type of attitude. Walks out nice and freely, looks in good order. And then the 3, Rule the Roost. He's a very stocky, strong-bodied horse. I thought he looked pretty well too. He looked pretty much the same as he did last time, and he won quite nicely, so he might be able to make it 2 on the trot. In order for me, 2, 5, 10 and 3.
2, 5, 10, 3 from Jenny. So Salto Olympico at $20. On top of 5, Winning Controller, 10 Curling Luxury, and 3 Rule the Roost. So 2, 5, 10 and 3. Race 2, number 2 for Jenny from the paddock. What are we tipping here, Tom, for race 2? It's one of the 1650 metre events.
Certainly is the second section of this Class 4 1650 race. Winning Controller on top for me, number 5. Dennis Yip, the trainer Victor Wong, claiming the £7. He went forward last time out from a wide stall on that occasion, did the rider, and he knocked up not too far from the winner, who was Splendour in Gold. He was only beaten 3.5 lengths, but he is here over 1650 metres. He has placed here in the past, so I'm willing to give him a chance here with the £7 claimer on Victor Wong on winning controller, so he makes it on top. To beat the 3, that is Rule the Roost last start. Winning here, course and distance beat home Happy Warrior. Scored by a neck on that occasion. Was caught wide, but it was a brave effort, I thought, from Rule the Roost on that occasion. Number 3, 11 Love Chungwa. Going to throw him in there. He's at 29 and 5.4. He actually hasn't run bad races this year. He's had 8 runs this season for a second, a third, and 2 fourth placings. He was off heels at the 200 metres last time out, and he boxed on fairly behind Rule the Roost. So I'm going to throw him in there. And Curling Luxury should be able to be up on the pace here. Oliver Nung riding for Remy Choi. Only battled really, I thought, over the last 150 metres. Probably was a little bit flat. Went round at a massive old price, but had been sort of around that $20 mark in prior runs. A 4-time course and distance winner. 5, 3, 11 and 10, Paul, for race number 2.
Yeah, I've got the same Quinella, just the other way around here. I think Rule the Roost can win again. He's a nice improving horse with limited starts here, barrier 1. He's on top to beat Winning Control with the £7 claim. He rates well, won a good race last time, boxed on nice enough for 3rd from barrier 4. He looks well placed. He's probably lead, actually. I think he will lead Winning Controller. The 1, Faithful Trinity's been downgraded and is a Class 3 winner. And then the 4, Mr. Monty. Blinkers go back on him, and he has one off a rating of 63. He's rated 56 with Zach Purton aboard from barrier 2. 3, 5, 1 and 4.
Yeah, he goes in for me as well, Mr. Monty, for sure. But I thought that horse on screen was one of the more interesting horses in the race. Faithful Trinity, we talked about the downgrade, and we were looking at him in the paddock. 4 lengths off Elaine Charisma, behind Bank on Red, previous start, Happy Dragon, Experto Crede, and you know, not disgraced in Class 3 company. He's a Group 2 winner before he arrived. That was in Italy. But I think gets an opportunity here despite the barriers. He goes on top for me, Faithful Trinity, Rule the Roost, Mr. Monty, and then Winning Controller as well. I included him. It was a toss-up between him and Love Chungwa, because I'm like you, Brad. I don't think the 1650 is beyond him. He'll be staying on late, but 5 got the nod in the end.
Fair enough. 1, 3, 4, 5 from Andrew. I went with 4, Mr. Monty, who just parks in behind. I think Rule the Roost, as Paul said, and everybody else has sort of agreed that he does look still progressive, and that was a nice win from him last start. Faithful Trinity, I tipped him last start. I thought he still ran well. Easier company here, but a big weight for a small horse on an awkward gate. Just 3rd for me, and I'll put Love Chungwa in. He is close to a drop in class, but if they run a solid tempo here over 1650, it'll be to his liking. If he's good enough to get into the frame, then he'll add some value to the exotics. 4, 3, 1 and 11. 2 on top for Jenny with the race due in a minute.
Yep, and I've gone with him, Salto Olimpico. I thought he paraded really nicely. The fact that he ran 2nd last time, he did get a fair bit of pressure in that race as well, so he stuck on quite well just when he was beaten by Happy Rocky, who's gone on and won again at Chung Fa as well. So that form might read okay. If he can get across easy enough from gate 12, I think he'll run a bit of a race the way he's been presented. 2 on top of number 5, Winning Controller. His last run was pretty good too. He was up there on the speed. He fought on quite well. Gate 4 for him, he gets that claim as well, so he looks well suited. The 10, Curling Luxury, liked his fluency, and he has got a very good 1650 metre record here at the Valley, so I can expect a good run from him. He was getting a nice warm-up behind the gates as well, so they're obviously intending to go forward with him again. And the 3, I thought, Rule the Roost. His last win was very good, and he's maintained his overall condition. He's a solid-bodied horse, but does look well. So 2, 5, 10 and 3. And the other one that actually looked all right at a huge odds was Superior Boy.
He's a massive price still, isn't he? 116. But the light flashing here, Paul, so how do we play it?
I thought I like the Rule the Roost. He's come up at 2.6, so I threw in Faithful Trinity at 10 and Winning Controller at 5.5. But it's 2.6 about Rule the Roost. He's the favourite from Mr. Monty at 5. 5.5 about Winning Controller. 7 about Royal Race. He's drifting back out. Then 10 about Faithful Trinity. Money coming for Dr. Race at a massive price. He's into 58.
All right. So we're on start time. The light is blinking away. Let's head up and join Tom for the call of race number 2. Tom.
Thanks, Brett. 2.6 and 1.4 around Rule the Roost, who's drawn the inside gate here for Alberto Sada. Frankie Law, the trainer of Rule the Roost. 4-year-old son of Redout's Choice. Moving up into the gates. Bit of specking there around Dr. Race at 59s. 60s, his quote now. Salto Olimpico, Love Chungwa, Rule the Roost, Mr. Monty, and Royal Racer to complete the line. Rule the Roost at 241.30 for the second races. The favourite, the Diaguila Peak Handicap. 1,650 metres. The attendants clear from in front. We're ready to go. Stand by for action. Gates open. They're off and away and racing. Salto Olympico wasn't quick away from near the outside, and he settles back towards the rear of the field. Winning Control is going forward here, as to his Curling Luxury, Mr. Monty, and following them over on the inside is Rule the Roost. Royal Racer camped over on their outside. Little Island came next as they charged the first turn. Love Chunghwa back on the inside of Golden Kid. Superior Boy is caught deeper. 2 lengths away then came Faithful Trinity, Dr. Race and Salto Olympico last of all, 28.60. So certainly not going as hard as they were in the first race. And the leader into the back straight is Winning Controller over Curling Luxury, margin 3/4. Mr. Monty a length away third, followed around next by Royal Racer. 1.5 Little Island, who's right up on the Chewy, followed by Superior Boy. He's been 3 wide, no cover the trip. Rule the Roosters back over on the rail, the race favourite passing the 700 metres. Then came Golden Kid, followed by Love Chunghwa. Faithful Trinity's under a hard ride, 2 lengths away. Dr. Race and Salto Olympico. 600 metres left to go. Taking over now is Curling Luxury from Winning Controller. A length away third is Royal Racer. Mr. Monty's had a good run over on the rail compared to a Superior Boy who's had a terrible run, and he's now starting to yield ground. Next is Little Island, Golden Kid. Rule the Roost about 4 off the leader. Curling Luxury at the 200 metres. Pounced on now by Royal Racer. Then came Little Island down the outside. Winning Controller behind them. Rule the Roost. But Royal Racer's taken the lead here for Vincent O from Rule the Roost. Curling Luxury, Little Island. Royal Racer wins from Rule the Roost. Curling Luxury third. Little Island fourth. Love Chunghwa, Dr. Race, Winning Controller, Salto Olympico, Golden Kid. They all finished in a bunch. They were followed in turn by Faithful Trinity. Superior Boy was wide the trip, and Mr. Monty, after having a good run in transit, weakened out of it to be one of the last ones. Royal Racer. Casper Founds a winning double here tonight. Casper, of course, over in Dubai at the moment with Southern Legend going around there this coming Saturday night, and he's picked the first 2 races off tonight, has Casper. Royal Racer at 9.83.30 prevails, a 3-year-old by Dreamscape out of Ice Cold Crownie. If you've backed it, you might be able to have a Crownie as well. Number 7, Royal Racer, has beaten home the 3. Rule the Roost second. 10, Curling Luxury, and 6, Little Island in 140.38. Still inside standard 140.65, but that early first section was slow. 7, 3, 10 and 6 following race number 2 on the program. 1 by a head with the margins. Stand by for action. Gates open. They're off and away and racing. Salto Olympico wasn't quick away from near the outside, and he settles back towards the rear of the field. Winning Control is going forward here, as to his Curling Luxury, Mr. Monty, and following them over on the inside is Rule the Roost. Royal Racer camped over on their outside. Little Island came next as they charged the first turn. Love Chunghwa back on the inside of Golden Kid. Superior Boy is caught deeper. 2 lengths away then came Faithful Trinity, Dr. Race and Salto Olympico last of all, 28.60. So certainly not going as hard as they were in the first race. And the leader into the back straight is Winning Controller over Curling Luxury, margin 3/4. Mr. Monty a length away third, followed around next by Royal Racer. 1.5 Little Island, who's right up on the Chewy, followed by Superior Boy. He's been 3 wide, no cover the trip. Rule the Roosters back over on the rail, the race favourite passing the 700 metres. Then came Golden Kid, followed by Love Chunghwa. Faithful Trinity's under a hard ride, 2 lengths away. Dr. Race and Salto Olympico. 600 metres left to go. Taking over now is Curling Luxury from Winning Controller. A length away third is Royal Racer. Mr. Monty's had a good run over on the rail compared to a Superior Boy who's had a terrible run, and he's now starting to yield ground. Next is Little Island, Golden Kid. Rule the Roost about 4 off the leader. Curling Luxury at the 200 metres. Pounced on now by Royal Racer. Then came Little Island down the outside. Winning Controller behind them. Rule the Roost. But Royal Racer's taken the lead here for Vincent O from Rule the Roost. Curling Luxury, Little Island. Royal Racer wins from Rule the Roost. Curling Luxury.
A double for Casper tonight, then 3 more runners tonight. It's, the trainer is in Dubai, obviously using Southern Legends preparation. So the assistant trainer's doing a fine job, Philip, here this evening. 2 runners, 2 winners. Yeah.
Boom, boom for Casper. And it drifted right out in the end. 98.50 and 33.50, $11. for second, 46.50 third. Quinella 172.50, the Trio 693, and the Tierce 5,021. The QP's 3,764, 710, 231, 3, and 1074.50. So this guy ran a nice race behind Golden 4. He was well over 100 to 1 on that occasion. Then his next two starts, Gates 1, Gates 12, not disgraced, but he seemed to appreciate coming back to the Valley, had a bit of galloping room, and Vincent Ho did the rest, got him into a lovely spot in the run, Jenny.
Certainly did, and he was stepping up to the 1650 for the first time as well, so that obviously suited him as well. I thought he was given a very good ride there. He got into a lovely position, so it all panned out perfectly for him. Of the rest, well, Rule the Roost ran another very honest race. Curling Luxury, he was up there handy enough. He was still able to battle on to finish in third spot. I thought Salto Olympico, well, he sat last. They decided to go back with him from gate number 12, so he's a long way back, and he just got slightly held up in the early part of the straight, but he still had a huge deficit to make up. So he's run on, but he probably, as I thought, wants further anyway.
The lead time was 28.6, which is very slow. They've actually gone inside of standard. We're on a good firm track, but the first split very slow. So those in the back part of the field probably struggled a little bit to make headway, even though the time is inside of standard. So Royal Racer, a 3-year-old by Dreamscape, out of a mare called Ice Cold Crownie.
It's the right weather for it.
It is.
All right, let's have a look at the replay, the patrol footage. The winner comes from barrier 7. That's Royal Racer. Rule the Roost and Mr. Monty for barriers 1 and 2 respectively. Mr. Monty showing a little bit more speed, but not the speed of Winning Control, who's bounced out from barrier 4 and goes forward with Curling Luxury from the 5. Zach just holds them out there for a moment or so. You can see Royal Racer, he was a handful in the yard, and he's a bit of a handful here. Vincent Ho trying to settle him, get some cover, just get on the quarters there of Mr. Monty. Eventually he does that. Superior Boy is the one that gets caught in the red cap there, 3 wide. Working way back through the field, Love Chunghwa, Golden Kid, Joyful Trinity, a little bit keen. Joe was obviously intent on getting towards the back and getting him settled, but he's just not playing ball at the moment, and Salto Olympico whips them in at this stage, not going as quick as they did in the first.
No, that lead section 28.6, very slow. You can see Superior Boy improves his position wider out. That does inject a little bit of pace, and Curling Luxury also just sort of tests Victor Wong on Winning Controller, trying to get across to the rail. Victor kicks up a little bit, but they do increase the speed. That allows Royal Racer to get into a more fluid, bigger stride. Mr. Monty had every chance by the looks of it. He failed to sprint in the stretch. You can see Rule the Roost behind him's hard ridden, and he runs second. So don't know if there's too many excuses for Mr. Monty. Faithful Trinity to the outside with Golden Kid.
Yeah, it gets pushed very wide as they swing into the straight. Salto Olympico, Purple Jacket looking for room. Gets a bit of a squeeze there, a bit of a bump off Superior Boy, but in the drive for the line now, Curling Luxury just about in front. Royal Racer takes over here. Rule the Roost, though, stays on very strongly, gets up on the inside there of Little Island. Dr. Race stays on late as well, but Royal Racer breaks through at start number 7 here. Casper Founds and Vincent Ho scoring the second, a length by ahead with the margins.
7, 3, 10, 6 and correct weight. QP's $3,764, $7, 10, 231, 3 and 10, 74.50. The composite win is $20.50, the A2 overnight mid prices. Sounds like Beyonce's down in the beer garden. 3,907 for the first 4. And the quartet, 81,071, 7, 3, 10, 6. The Casper Founds double, 9 into 7, 281, 9, 3, consolation, 36.50. Sectionals 28.6, then 24.4, 23.8, 23.4, so just progressively quicker, which brought in a time inside of standard at 140.38, standard 140.65.
Third event then is 20 minutes away. Gift of Lifeline is our favourite. The horses that have been up at Chung Fa, though, Jolly Bountiful, Beauty Energy, and My Family's had a couple of trips, most recently coming back on the 21st. Have a look at the speed map here, Paul. So the favourite has drawn barrier 9, so Carrick's got a little bit of work to do there.
Interesting to see where he does. He sort of gone back in his last couple of starts, so I expect him to not push it from barrier number 9. But Exceptional Desire and Bullish Brother are two horses we know like to lead. This is Class. Is another one that's gone forward at Shards Hill in some of his races. Chair Win, he's tractable. He's gone backwards and forwards, whereas Precious Sweetie can slot in nicely.
All right. Gift of Lifeline then, the favourite's probably the good place to start. Jolly Bountiful engaged here as well, but he's got, what, 2.5 lengths to make up on his rival.
Well, Gift of Lifeline here, he was knocked over before they sort of came out, and once he got out into the clear, he hit the line really strongly, and it wasn't a bad run from Jolly Bountiful as well. He hit the line well.
Yep. Gift of Lifeline just powered the last little bit, didn't he? So that's a solid performance from a young horse. Bullish Brother got the lead. He got pestered for the lead too, so it was a good effort here because he did a fair bit in the initial stages and then had a kick in the end. They ran 1:10, which is a solid enough time, but he was beating the easier opposition. Yeah,
this is Class 5. He's now up to Class 4. He does. He'll be in the right spot though on the C+3 track. He's got the Apprentice Claim Barrier 5, so he's definitely got a chance.
Now, Casper Fownes has trained the first 2 winners. This is his runner, a first starter here in race number 3. I think there's been a bit of a roll-up on him, Paul, but this is the only trial we've got to judge him on.
Yeah, that was the thing. He's only had an 800-metre trial. He's 1,016 pounds. He's not the biggest horse around. Zach Purdon will take them out. You can see him dashing into 4th there. So it wasn't a bad trial. It's just that we haven't seen much of him.
We haven't seen the winner either, Red Desert. So, yeah, it's hard to get a guide, yes. Those familiar colours.
Look at the market, though. What's 20s into 6.4.
Yep, we'll get a graphic on this one for sure. There's a big mover is Old Havana. Jolly Bountiful's into 7.3. Chair Win 11, Exceptional Desire 44. Gift the Lifeline is the big mover. Still favourite, 2.9 out to 4.1. Expect him to come back in. Beauty Energy at 15. My Family at 25. This is Class. 9.9 into 7.8. Yeah, Bullish Brother 4.2 out to 4.6. After Me over 100 to 1.
Market,
Super
though,
Fun over 60 to 1.
And
into Precious Sweetie down the bottom there at 10.
Going in first up. All right, there is the all-up graphic. 1 and 5 Quinella Place. So Old Havana and Gift of Lifeline affected by all-up money in the Q and QP. Just back to Dubai, Andrew. We are simulcasting 7 races from Dubai, 8:50 p.m. here in Hong Kong for the first, which is the Dubai Gold Cup. Al-Quoz 9:30, UAE Derby 10:05, 10:40 the Dubai Golden Shaheen, 11:20 Dubai Turf, midnight Dubai Shima Classic in the World Cup at 12:40 a.m. 4 representatives from Hong Kong, and Edward Sadler and Graham Cunningham will take you through that simulcast. It'll be a cracker.
It will, yeah. So runners in the first 2 races.
Yep.
Then the Derby, and then the next 2 after that, the Golden Shaheen and the Dubai Turf. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And the entries came out as well for the Sprint Cup and the Chairman's Trophy coming up on the 7th of April. And Beauty Generation entered for the Chairman's Trophy. So the champ will be out again in the not too distant future. Here's Jolly Bountiful on screen. Jenny, 7.4 and 2.2 for number 2 tonight.
He's only a little horse, Jolly Bountiful, weighing in at 983 pounds here tonight, which is 3 pounds more than he was last time. He's still got a little bit of filler in his feet, so the
There's 2 wins. One of them here at Happy Valley over the 1200. The other one at Sha Tin, again over the 6 furlong trip. He's been joined by most of his rivals now as well. So we'll move on to Cheer Win, Jenny. Ricky Yu and Derek Lung with him. The showcasing 5-year-old is a 2-time winner as well. But his wins have been over the 1,000 metres, again split between here and Sha Tin.
Yep, so he's first up for 126 days, this horse, but he has had a recent trial and he made some late ground in that trial. Quite like the way he's come into the parade here. It looks like he has done enough work. He looks really fit, beautifully behaved, walking out well enough as well. I think he looks in good order, so I would take a chance with him. I think he looks good.
All right, that is Cheer Win. We're going to go from 3 back to number 1, who is creating some interest now, Jenny. 20s into 6.8 for the newcomer Old Havana, who is by Havana Gold out of a Key of Luck mare, trained by Casper Founds. First start, just one 800-metre barrier trial.
He's an interesting one. He's been in work since October, but he's had a few little breaks here and there in his work, so they might have had a few little niggling issues with him. He seems to have a fairly good attitude. He's very quiet. He's not overly tall. He's weighing in at 1,016 pounds, so he's a bit of a lightly framed type, but he does look fit. He's fluent, good attitude, and he doesn't look bad. So I know there's obviously roll-up money because of the first 2 Casper horses winning, but he doesn't look bad. I don't think he'll disgrace.
All right, that's Old Havana. The price might be on the skinny side at the moment, but it should right itself to a certain extent, you'd imagine, in the next 12 or 13 minutes or so. See the 1, 2, 3. Here's the 4, Exceptional Desire, a winner 2 starts back over the 1,200 metres. Scored then from barrier 4, beating Happy Cooperation. Gets barrier 11 this evening. But again, the 3 wins have all been here at the track.
Yeah, gate 11 I think is going to make it really hard for him. He's probably going to be quite vulnerable here today, but he's a lovely bodied horse, very strong all over and maintains his looks and condition. So to look at, you could easily have him. He's just going to need a lot to go right from that gate.
Yeah, jump and run type of horse, so he's going to fire forward, you would think, from gate number 11 with the lightweight here for Victor Wong. 3-time winner over the course and distance. All his wins have come in this class as well. So there are some ticks alongside of his name. Gift of Lifeline looks a progressive type, Jenny. He won well last start.
He did win well, and he's been beautifully presented once again from the Tony Millard yard. I think he could possibly make it 2 on the trot here. There's nothing wrong with the way he presents. He's got a good attitude. He's really fit. He maintains his health, and looks like he's walking out nice and cleanly still. So he's in good order.
The 5, Gift of Lifeline, last start winner. Well turned out again this evening as well. The favourite, yes. 3.9 at 1.8. Who's next? Beauty Energy should be, in theory, from the 5 to the 6. They swap the cheek pieces for the blinkers. John Moore and Matthew Poon combined with the 6. There he is, Jenny, well down the field behind Planet Star last time out. Stood a maiden here in Hong Kong as well after 14 starts.
Yeah, look, he actually had some form over the 1,600 in the UK prior to coming here, but he hasn't been tried over that distance here. So he's an interesting one. He actually looks well. He's a nicely put together type. He's quite stocky and strong. He's got a good healthy coat on him. Walks out well. Been on and off his toes throughout this parade so far. But I can't really rule him out because he actually looks well.
All right, 11 minutes out from race number 3. That's Beauty Energy that Jenny was just chatting about. Number 6. We move on to number 7, who's lightly raced. My Family $24 chance. Had his first start at the Valley last outing. Drawn barrier 4 for Alberto Sanna. I thought he was a little sneaky chance of maybe getting into the frame. I didn't mind his action over the concluding stages last start. Number 7, Jenny, there he is on screen now, right on cue.
Well, he's gone out over at 100 to 1 at both of those runs, and he's a horse with plenty of substance. He's very strong and he walks out quite freely as well. I just wonder whether or not he might be looking for a touch further. He looks like he would get over a bit more ground, but he doesn't look unfit and he's a nice enough type, so I certainly wouldn't rule him out.
All right, this is the 7. My Family, 25 and 5. This is class, should be next, 8.2 and 2.6, about the 4-year-old son of So You Think. Barrier 8 for him. Vincent Ho looking for a race-to-race double. Went forward on his last start. That was over 1,400 metres, and he jumped up from 1,000 to 14 at Sha Tin. Now drops back to the 1,200 here. His first visit to Happy Valley.
Yep, now he's another one that's just been sort of on his toes here and there, but actually looks in pretty good health and condition, and he does look very fit. They've got a fair bit of headgear on him, the cheek pieces and the hood. obviously just to try and keep him calm. But look, he needs it a little loosen up in front. That's probably the only little negative with him. But he is fit and he actually looks quite well, so place claims for him.
This is Class, horse number 8. Vincent Ho rode the last race winner for Casper Fownes. He'll ride here for Francis Loy on the 4-year-old son of So You Think. Bullish Brother, a last start winner. Jenny steps up in class and Dylan Moe takes the ride, replacing Matthew Poon.
Well, Bullish Brother, I thought his last win was quite good in Class 5. His coat's still a little bit wintry and it's even a tad dull as well, but it didn't stop him last time. He was pretty much the same last time. His attitude's been good here in the parade and he's quite a strong, neatly put together type as well. He's slightly warm in patches here and there, but I like his fluency and I like his attitude, and he's in winning form, so I think he's there with another chance. He doesn't stand out in the parade, but he's well.
He's our place favourite at the moment, Bullish Brother at 1.7. 4.3 second pick at this stage. After Me draws barrier 1 here, Jenny. Jack Wong in the saddle. He's had blinkers on for the last 2 starts. They stay in place, but he's still looking to improve.
He really does need to improve, doesn't he? He's fast-tracking his way to Class 5, this horse, and I think that's where he might need to be as well, the way he's been performing. He's not hopeless to look at. He actually looks really fit, but his performances have been on the ordinary side. So I'm still happy to watch, but he is fit if you like him.
All right, that's number 10 After Me. I've followed him a few times and he has been disappointing. Super fun. I had him in the tips the last couple. The thousands just been a little bit too sharp for him. I guess probably ultimately he wants 1400 maybe, and probably Class 5 to go with it, Jenny.
Yeah, quite possibly. I need to get a little closer to have a look at him. He's quite a tall horse. He was a touch wintry in his coat last time, and I think he's still got a touch of that as well. His behaviour looks to be quite good, walking out quite well. He's got some strength in the chest there. He seems to be eager enough, and I think he looks quite well. Yeah, nice. Nothing wrong with him. He's healthy, strong and well. I know he's going out at big odds, but if he was to run a bit of a race, it wouldn't shock.
All right, and Precious Sweetie, the last one, Jenny. First up since December. Has trialled, was supposed to actually run in February, but missed that run. Has trialled since. How's he looking tonight?
Yeah, well, he did have substantial blood in the trachea back on the 22nd of November, so he's a horse that has obviously got a few little internal issues. He's got towier, or very towy, throughout this parade, so getting himself a little bit on the warm side now. He's an interesting runner because he's got the light weight and is going into this fresh, and he doesn't look unfit, I will say that, but just a little bit tense and towy. So only a place chance for me.
He's had some good trials coming in and he has got an engine. We've seen it in force before at Shard 10. First start at the Valley. First up record, second up record's not overly strong, but he's lightly raced. So yeah, he's a tricky one, the bottom one for me. The market suggests he's not without his chance at $9. Hasn't raced since mid-December. So 6 minutes out will allow Jenny a moment to compile her numbers, and Paul can give us an update on the market.
Yeah, money coming for the favourite. Gifter Lifeline now into 3.8. 4.1 Bullish Brother. Those two are the ones that have drifted, come in. The drifting ones, obviously, Old Havana 20. He was into 6.4. He's now out to 7.6. 4 favourite behind Jolly Bountiful, who's at 7.5. 10 about Precious Sweetie. 11 about Chair Win, he's right in the market, and then 16 about Beauty Energy. But Gift of Lifeline is the favourite at 3.8.
All right, heading down to the start. Off camera, Jack Wong just did a super job with After Me. It was very awkward going out of the yard and thought he was going to take on the rail on the inside of the track there, but Jack got him straight and got him off and running as well, so hopefully all okay with him. But 5 minutes out from the third, Jenny, what do you like?
I thought the 5 paraded the best. He is currently the favourite as it stands anyway. So Gift of Lifeline, he's the last start winner. His last 2 have been good, in fact, and he looks good. He maintains his look. So I had trouble going past him on the top line. From number 3, Cheer Win. Now, he's going into this race fresh, and he does look like he's fit enough to run a bit of a race. He's had issues with his right suspensory, so that's obviously a little bit of a concern, but I thought he was walking out well, and there were no bandages on him either. His trial on the all-weather was quite good, so I think he could possibly run well fresh here. I thought the 4, Exceptional Desire, had to go in as well. I know he's awkwardly drawn. He's going to need a lot to go right from there. He does look vulnerable, but he does look a treat. He's very strong. He's the nicest type in the field, so he has to go in. And then the 2, Jolly Bountiful, was next best. Thought he was... he's a horse that's a lightly framed horse, 983 pounds, so there's very little of him. That's just him, though. I thought he looks as good as he can at the moment, so I'm going to leave him there with the chance as well. 5, 3, 4 and 2.
All right, 5, 3, 4, 2 from Jenny. 5, 3, 4 and 2 as we head up to Tom. And Tom, your best comes up here, race 3.
Certainly does, Brett. 760, the quote around Jolly Bountiful at the moment. The size and Marrera combination. He was very stiff here 3 runs ago. He got completely castled on the home turn, taken wider. That was in the blanket finish there where there were about 5 or 6 across the track and Navis was able to get home. Now this horse chased home Gift of Lifeline last time out. He was only 2.5 away. Might have just got slightly hampered in the straight, but I thought he finished off pretty well. So I'll go with him on top. Number 2, Jolly Bountiful, to beat 5, and that is Gift of Lifeline, the last start winner for Sylvester de Souza. Karis Teton jumps in the saddle tonight, finished strongly in the middle of the track to win on that occasion over Very Sweet Orange at only his 4th start, the son of Piero. If this is class, another go here at 8.80 and 3, Vincent Ho, Francis Loy. Does seem to have plenty of pace, this horse. He was only headed inside the 150, but did have to do a little bit of work last time out from a wide stall over 1,400 metres, dropping back to the 1,200 here. From gate 8 and C+3 course, they don't have much of a straight run to the first turn here. It's a lot shorter than what it is when they race in the A course, so he might have to use a little bit of early gas again today. This is class. Of the rest, Bullish Brother, he was the last start winner here over Happy Happy. Did it quite nicely over the concluding stages. So 2, 5, 8 and 9, Paul, race 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the favourite here, the 5, Gift of Lifeline. I just really liked his win last time because he had to pick himself up after being knocked over, and some not all the good horses, I mean, only good horses can really do that, and I thought that was a really good run from him, and there's plenty more to come. So he's on top. Bullish Brother comes up from Class 5 into Class 4. I think he can run nicely from the front. The 12 is I've got in there for 3rd, which is Precious Sweet. He didn't mind his trial when he comes into this race fresh. And then the 8, This Is Class. Now, he's a first-time runner here at Happy Valley, but I've liked his run so far at Sha Tin, and if he can produce that here at Happy Valley, he's a nice horse. I think he can be in the finish. 5, 9, 12, 8.
Same cue. 5 and 9 for me, and the other numbers have been mentioned already as well. But I do think that Gift of Lifeline worked quite quickly and quite strongly towards that first win. Don't think it was the end of me that the rating rise, and he put 6 more pounds on his back. I think he's well up to this Gift of Lifeline, and fancy him to win again. He's not favoured anymore either. Bullish Brother now holds that mantle. 5, 9, 2, and it was the 7 or the 8, Brett, for me, going in for 4th. Eventually went towards This Is Class, but I could see my family improving too.
Yeah, I can as well. I've got him in the tips, 9, 5, 7, 12. I thought Bullish Brother, when Amazing Star came out of the race, I thought that might be better for Bullish Brother. There's still some other opposition pace-wise early, but I thought stepping up in class here would be something he could cope with, judged on his performance last start, because he did do it both ends. We'll see how he unfolds here at the higher level. Gift of Lifeline looks a really nice type going forward. 7, My Family, I think there was something in that run. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run a reasonable race, but he may be looking for further, as Jenny mentioned. And the 12, Precious Sweetie, trials leading in have been okay. 9, 5, 7 and 12, 5 on top for Jenny.
Yep, I've gone with the 5, Gift of Lifeline. Thought he paraded very nicely. He looks like he's got slightly warm behind the gates there, but a few of them have, so it doesn't look to be an unusual thing tonight. Gate 9 for him, he will need a touch of luck from that gate. He drew gate 5 last time, so fingers crossed it all goes well for him. This is only his 5th race start, but paraded well. The 3, Cheer Win, going in fresh from a suspensory injury. Thought he walked out well. He looks like he's done plenty of work, and his most recent trial was good. So got him in as a Cornella horse. I thought the 4, Exceptional Desire, paraded well once again. He often does. He's a lovely individual. Gate 11 for him, so that's awkward. But looks good. And then the 2, Jolly Bountiful, very fit, lightly framed horse, but looks as well as he can. 5, 3, 4 and 2.
All right, light flashing here, Paul. Money continues to roll in for Bullish Brother. What do we play?
Yeah, he's in there with Gift of Lifeline and Precious Sweetie to add the value, but gee, there's a big go here on Bullish Brother. He's now down to 2.6. Clear favourite, Gift of Lifeline drifting out to 4.4. Then after that, we're out to 9.4 about Jolly Bountiful, 9.7 Precious Sweetie, and then 10 about Old Havana. He's still on the drift. lot of Quinella money going for the 9 as well.
All right, let's head up to Tom as they move in well. Race 3.
Thanks, Brett. The Mount Butler handicap, 1,200 metres. First of our 1,200 metre sprint races here tonight. Now, Bullish Brother coming up. Decent go for him. He's at 2.5 and 110. Old Havana coming forward into the line after me, and a Gift of Lifeline to complete the line. So 2.5, Bullish Brother, the race favourite. And Rawbutt set to go. This is race number 3. Stand by for action. 1,200 metres, starterise the field. They're racing. Away they go. Good line away. Gift of Lifeline, one of the favourites, clearly last out, but the favourite, Bullish Brother, was first into stride. This is Class right there, Exceptional Desire. And over on the inside after me, Exceptional Desire, very wide into that first turn. Old Havana just camped behind the speed. Precious Sweetie is 3 wide, a length and a half away. Beauty Energy, Cheer Win. A length and a half to My Family, Gift of Lifeline, Jolly Bountiful, and Super Fun back last of all, 23.90. So just outside Standard as they run towards the 600 metres. Bullish Brother half in advance on This Is Class. Down on the rail is after me, Exceptional Desire doing it tough. Old Havana in the centre. 1.5, Precious Sweetie, 3 wide but has cover. Cheer Win on the rail, followed by Beauty Energy. Gift of Lifelines riding for luck over on the inside. Then came My Family. Joyful round the outside, Jolly Bountiful, and one of the last ones, Super Fun, Bullish Brother. This is Class, Exceptional Desire. Precious Sweetie coming out and after them. This is Class on the outside, right there, Bullish Brother. And behind them, Beauty Energy, Gift of Lifeline, charging late. This is Class in front, and This is Class wins from photo second. We've got Bullish Brother, Jolly Bountiful, Beauty Energy, right there, Gift of Lifeline. Behind those runners, Beauty Energy, Precious Sweetie. Then came Cheer Win, Super Fun after me, My Family. Behind those runners, Exceptional Desire, Jolly Bountiful next, and Old Havana, one of the last ones on crossing. This is Class has beaten home. Bullish Brother, Gift of Lifeline, Precious Sweetie, Beauty Energy. Then came Cheer Win behind them as they've run on through the line in the Mount Butler handicap. But nice performance here. This is Class, Vincent Ho, Francis Loy. You weren't going to miss him with those pink sheepskins on. Gets the job done, Vincent Ho, with a winning double tonight, and continues his very good strike rate with Francis Loy. 14 winners now for the season for the Loy and Ho combination. 895, 109.88. That's inside Standard 110.20. Line away, Gift of Lifeline, one of the favourites, clearly last out, but the favourite, Bullish Brother, was first into stride. This is Class right there, Exceptional Desire, and over on the inside after me, Exceptional Desire, very wide into that first turn. Old Havana just camped behind the speed. Precious Sweetie is 3 wide, a length and a half away. Beauty Energy, Cheer Win, a length and a half to My Family, Gift of Lifeline, Jolly Bountiful, and Super Fun back last of all, 23.90. So just outside Standard as they run towards the 600 metres. Bullish Brother half in advance on This Is Class. Down on the rail is after me, Exceptional Desire doing it tough. Old Havana in the centre. 1.5, Precious Sweetie, 3 wide but has cover. Cheer Win on the rail, followed by Beauty Energy. Gift of Lifelines riding for luck over on the inside. Then came My Family. Joyful round the outside, Jolly Bountiful, and one of the last ones, Super Fun, Bullish Brother. This is Class, Exceptional Desire. Precious Sweetie coming out and after them. This is Class on the outside, right there, Bullish Brother, and behind them, Beauty Energy, Gift of Lifeline, charging late. This is Class in front, and This Is Class wins from...
He does indeed. This is Class breakthroughs for his maiden at start number 5. There's the photo for 4th. And it was Precious Sweetie. Ben So in the saddle there for Peter Ho, just denying Beauty Energy and Matthew Poon. 3/4 by ahead. The margins 109.88. A double now for Vincent Ho this evening.
Yes, $126 the winner, $37 a place, $13 for second. That's 9 Bullish Brother, $17 third, 5 Gift of Lifeline. The Quinella 168. The Tierce is 1,695, and the Trio's 215. 3/4 ahead, 1988. Inside a Standard by near enough to 3/4 tenths, somewhere in between there actually. QP's 8 and 9, 59.50, 5 and 8, $92, 5 and 9, 33.50. Good tipping from Paul there. He's tipped the first 4, 35.50 actually for the composite win overnight. Mid prices A2. This is Class. First win, 4-year-old by So You Think. Francis Loy and Vincent Ho, with 2 winners from 3 races tonight.
Yeah, look, he did a good job, didn't he? From gate number 8, he was able to get across and up on the speed there. He was a bit keen in the early stages as well, so he's really shown some stamina in the concluding stages and gone on to win it quite nicely. Of course, Gift of Lifeline, the favourite, was very slow out of the gates. After that, Karras decided to stay on the fence and just ride him for a touch of luck, and he got a little bit of a bump from Cheer Win as well, but he still finished off the race well, so if you can forgive him for missing the start, nice enough effort.
Yeah, he finished off very strongly, didn't he? Gift of Lifeline. Sylvester de Sosa was in the saddle for that last win. Of course, Sylvester finished up on the weekend.
That he did. Got a suspension to boot too with it, unfortunately. But he had a winner there on Right Choice. Keep one step ahead, Syndicate. This is Class. A horse that had trialled well down the straight 1,000 prior to his debut. Just taken a little bit of time for him to really find his feet, Paul. I know you liked him last start and you had him in the tips again tonight.
Yeah, I made the long shot last time. He went straight to the front and unfortunately just couldn't quite hold on with Victor Wong aboard from his wide draw, but it wasn't a bad run. And the only thing was he hadn't been to the Valley before, so he managed to get outside the lead with that really good gate speed, and he finished off nicely, so good win from him.
He was well back, Bullish Brother. There was a couple of spec late as well. Exceptional Desire, Brown Lamped down to 17, and My Family went from 35 into 17 too. So
Super Fun was backed.
Yep. And so was Bullish Brother. He was into almost 6 to 4.
Good effort from Precious Sweetie first up there.
Yep. He trialled well leading in. All right, we'll take a look at it again. The eventual winner is drawn barrier 8, and he's easy to spot in those pink cheek pieces. Bullish Brother fired out. Faultless beginning from him, and This is Class crossed over after me onto their backs, and Exceptional Desire probably had to really push on from that position. He was always going to get caught 3 deep sitting there. Precious Sweetie outside of Havana Gold. You can see Beauty Energy was caught wide, and Gift of Lifeline, who was sluggish into stride, only had 1 behind him at the start, or halfway through, and at the start, and that was Super Fun.
Yes, old Havana, the debutant there in the pink and black striped sleeves, just in behind the eventual winner. He seemed to travel quite well for most of the race. The experience will certainly bring him on, no end. But yeah, the winner's in the perfect spot, isn't he? Just parked outside Bullish Brother. But Gift of Lifeline back right down on the rail. Karras has got some work to do from there, and well, nearly pulls it off.
Precious Sweetie 3 from right of screen, and My Family closed off as well, but does give the impression he wants further. But Bullish Brother, This is Class. They are fighting it out with Gift of Lifeline building revs down nearer the rail. That's the 1, 2, 3, but Precious Sweetie and also Beauty Energy sticking on well, not too far away when they finished from Cheer Win and My Family towards the middle.
They have weighed in on race number 3. 8 and 9, 59.50. 5 and 8, $92. 5 and 9, $33.50. Those are the QPs on the third to a $10 bet. Composite win, overnight mid prices we're looking at once more, $33.50. The return there for the composite win. A2 the selection. First 4, 5, 8, 9 and 12, $403. Those numbers in any order. The quartet, which is 8, 9, 5 and 12 for $12,601. $12,601. Precious Sweetie in 4th place. The double on races 2 and 3, the 2 winners, $789. That was Royal Racer winning the previous. So the Vincent Ho double, 7 and 9 the consolation. Bullish Brother running second, and even 70. Sectional times 23.9, standard 23.75, 23.07, standard 23 flat, and then 22.91, standard is 23.45. So overall 109.88. Standard for the class is 110.2. Feature race coming up, the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. As you can see, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deep in the beer garden with our Latin theme down there this
wonder why that is.
this evening. Dream Warriors, Lightning Steed and Young Empire. And the horses that have been up at Chung Fa in the last month or so. We'll have a look at the speed map. Is Paul? Yeah, Paul's still here. Frustrated's our favourites here, Paul. Last start winner gets barrier 1.
Could be the Omen bet. Frustrated there. He's should get a nice run just in behind Mr. Right. We know he's a horse who does like to lead. Happy Good Guys. He probably push on from his wide draw there. Blade Racer won't be too far away. Travel Day took, and Iron King should get a nice run.
I think the price of Mr. Right's very intriguing. $15. He was right in the market early on. Frustrated was odds on earlier on, and you can see here that he's able to power between the two horses either side of him and go on and score. Travel Day took, ran on strongly. There was quite a big bet placed on him for a place early on, but he is a maiden still from 30.
Yeah, it was a good run here, I thought, from Frustrated. He won with plenty in hand. He should get a similar run. I know he's got to go up and wait, but I think he can cope with it.
General Iron was in that race as well, finishing 4th. There's another Iron here, Iron King, and Happy Good Guys. Happy Good Guys was on debut. This was Iron King's second start. Yeah,
Iron King went really nicely, I thought, here down the straight 1,000, and he comes now here to Happy Valley for the first time. Drawn well with Zach Purton aboard. I expect him to run really well. The one named after you two, Happy Good Guys, he stayed on all right.
He did. Yes. He's a big price here. Dream Warriors is the debutant. He's had a lot of trials, this guy. He's had some issues with nervousness as well behind the stalls and being placed into the gate. So we'll see how he handles the paddock, but I think he's got a bit to do to interest me.
Yeah, 11-19 pounds for him. As you mentioned, he's had the 5 trials here, had numerous trials in Australia before he got here. So we'll see what Jenny's paddock report is on it.
All right, okay, there's Dream Warriors, currently 45 and 10 a place. But again, the all-up markets, plenty of movement. Yeah,
Frustrated without his favourite winning so far. 1.9 out to 2.7. Ever Brave's out to 28. Mr. Right's out to 16. Travel Day took 6.5. Dream Warriors is out to 45. Happy Good Guys into 31. Iron King's 58. Lightning Steed, massive move on him. 9.2 into 3.4. 28 out to 37. General Iron. Blade Race is 150 odd to 1. Young Empire's over 100 to 1, and Alcazar 25 to 1. Big movement there on Lightning Steed. Triple trio after the first leg. We haven't even had it yet, so there's still plenty live.
Everyone's still in.
Yes, the news is good.
4, 5 and 6. Jumped the gun there, didn't I? But we're expecting it with the $1.8 million jackpot to be up to $5 million for the single $10 unit. You're still live if you've got it.
Yes, hkjc.com for all the information on Hong Kong racing. This is our feature, the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. And Class 4 over the flying 1,000 metres. So we'll have a presentation following our feature tonight. The beer garden's just simmering at the moment, but there's plenty of noise and action down there a short time ago, and no movement at the station at this stage. We can see the paddock there, and Jenny's the only one in there at the moment. No horses in view or in sight at this stage, Jenny?
No, there's not, but it looks like a massive crowd down at the beer garden there. It looks like everyone's having a lot of fun, and it's a perfect night as far as weather goes too.
It certainly is. I think it's the first, I think it's 2 nights we've got of the Latin theme, the Carnival.
You would know.
I'm sure you saw the email as well.
Just back to the Sprint Cup and the Chairman's Trophy, the entries for those 2 races coming up on the 7th. The Chairman's Trophy, Group 2, Over the Mile, Beauty Generation, Conti, Denozo, Eagle Way, Mission Tycoon, Pakistan Star, who trialled really well the other day for Matthew Chadwick, who's back aboard. Of course, now in the Paul O'Sullivan yard, Pingwu Spark, Rise Higher, last start winner, Seasons Bloom and Singapore Sling. And the entries for the Sprint Cup, Beat the Clock, Handsome Bobo, Mr. Stunning, Pingwu Spark, Ratton, Styling City and Winner's Way. There initially were only 5 entries for that. A couple of late ones, including Handsome Bobo and Pingwu Spark.
Yeah, Rattan's interesting, back to the 1200 as well.
Yeah. Well, we are a little bit light in the sprinting ranks. We've got some good ones right at the top, but we don't have a lot of depth. So
well, there's a lot right at the start that look very promising.
Yeah, and even the one that won last week, Voyage.
Well, yeah, you know, the likes of him and Regency Legend and big parties. We're waiting for him to come back again. So there's the pipeline further down looks quite strong.
Country Star's another one too, who could probably get into that classification. But yeah, we've sort of got a bit of a gap between Class 1 and Group 1.
We've got Wishful Thinker in Dubai, of course. He's, you know, I'm sure he's rated 117 or something now, isn't he? So he's, you know, he's going to be knocking on that door very quickly.
Interesting. Mission Tycoon is
he is, isn't he?
Kept in training after taking out the Classic Cup and then finishing down the track in the Derby, but still in work.
All right, well, let's only a week or so away. Looking forward to that as a warm-up to FWD Champions Day. We're going to start here, though, Jenny, in the 4th with our favourite, which is Frustrated, and Victor Wong from Barrier 1.
Got a terrific attitude, this horse. He just walks in here like he's been and done it all before, which he has, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. He's walking up beautifully. His coat remains terrific. He's quite professional, in fact. So that last win was good, and he remains looking well.
All right, that's Frustrated. 2.5 currently. He was odds on earlier on the evening, but we'll see what happens as we get close to the race. Ever Brave is where we're going to look next. He does have an extra 16 pounds on his back as well, Frustrated tonight. But Ever Brave next. Jenny has only tried the trip once before here at Happy Valley, and he placed. That was his only effort here over the 1,000, but third over the 1,200 last time out too.
I'd expect him to be quite strong at the end of this race. He still, as you say, remains a maiden. He's had a few opportunities here and there, but I think he'll pick up one sooner rather than later. Whether it's tonight, we'll have to wait and see. The horse with the sway back, so he's not the most attractive, but he is very quiet and he is very strong, particularly in the chest and those hindquarters. That weight round the midsection, that's pretty normal for a sway back type, but he looks well. He's quiet enough. He looks well by his standards.
All right, let's have a look at Mr. Right now. He was 5.8 last start and drew barrier 1, got the cash. Tonight he's got more weight. He's got a reasonable barrier. He was $4 or $5 early, but he's right out to 14 to 1 now.
Yeah, look, you know that he can run well here. He's a 7-time winner over the 1,000 metres, and he's not badly drawn. He gets a few pounds off his back for Dylan Moe as well. He often looks good. He's very calm and relaxed these days as a 7-year-old. Maintains his condition. He's 1,274 pounds. He's actually put on 10 pounds. You can see how calm and relaxed he is, and he looks well. I wouldn't rule him out. He looks well, and you know he's got plenty of pace.
All right, move on to Travel Day. Took Richard Gibson, Matthew Chadwick from Barrier 2. 3.5 lengths to make up on Frustrated on their last meeting, but he finished off strongly.
Yeah, look, he probably gets another chance from gate number 2 here. He looks good. He's not an overly tall horse, and he probably lacks a little bit of scope, but he's neatly enough put together, and he has got some strength in the shoulder, walks out freely enough, attitude's good. So he parades well.
Yeah, I mentioned in the first there was quite a substantial place bet for Bundle of Energy, who ran third in early betting. There was a big place bet on this horse as well. Travel Day took for race 4. Dream Warriors on debut, Jenny. A lot of his preparation's been done at Chun Fa. He has been to Sha Tin as well. He's had quite a few trials. He has been noted as being a bit of a nervy type. How's he handling the parade here?
Actually pretty well. He was a touch nervous when he first walked in. He's still got the head up a little bit, just having a good look around. He hasn't really put a foot wrong. He's been quite well behaved. He's a very tall, sort of athletic type. He actually looks like he's done plenty of work. He's had those 5 trials for the Tony Cruz yard, and they haven't been hopeless either. He's sort of made some ground late. I think he's fit enough. I'm interested to see how he goes. He's going out at reasonable odds, and I could definitely leave him there with some sort of hope the way he presents.
He's up here, girls.
That was Dream Warriors. Happy Good Guys is next to Jenny. 33 and 6.5. I'm not going to ask who you were talking about, but Ricky, you and Vincent Jenny from Barrier 12.
Yeah, look, there's another handler close by, and he's very much on his toes. Happy Good Guys. He got very toey last time he was in the parade as well, and he was okay the first lap. He's just starting to rev up a bit now, but he's quite a nice type of horse. He's very strong, and he does look fit. So interested to see how he goes. He wasn't beaten all that far last time. He just needs to learn to calm back down again, so I'll have him more on a place line.
All right, here's your best bet of the night, Jenny. Iron King, first trip to the Valley and his 3rd race start.
He seems to be behaving himself quite nicely at the moment as well, this horse. He looked really fit and well last time he stepped out. And I'll wait for him to come towards me here. I don't know why they've got the gates open here, but I think they're waiting for a trainer to come in. Iron King, yeah, look healthy, fine-skinned, healthy and strong. Looks in good order. Yep, I'm happy with him.
All right, that is Iron King, 5.9, 1.9 for Dennis Yip, Zach Burton. This is Lightning Steeds. A lot of all-up money for him. Jenny Lightning Steed, Casper Founds, Joe Moreira. Switches from Shartin's Thousands to Happy Valley, where he's only tried it once before without success.
Yep, he's had the 3 runs for Casper. Of course, he was with Michael Freedman prior. Gate number 8 does look a little bit awkward for him. The horse looks well, though. He's a little bit tense, but well, strong, healthy enough, walking out freely enough as well. So can't rule him out. Obviously, there's plenty of roll-up for him, so you're not getting what you probably should be getting for him if you do like him, but he's well enough.
Okay, so that is Lightning Steed as we move on to General Iron. He's one of these horses that will get back and he'll hit the line well. He doesn't win out a turn, but you'll get a decent price if you like him tonight.
Yeah, General Iron, he's been around a while. He's a 9-year-old now, and he looks pretty much the same as he often does present. He's a horse that always carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. Behaviour's pretty good again here tonight. He can bob up every now and again. I think he walks out okay. Nothing really wrong with him. He's a solid-bodied horse once again, so he's well.
Should get plenty of pace here for sure, and that should result in him staying on quite strongly, I'd imagine.
If you had him in the tips, you'd be silly to leave him out tonight.
That's General Line at 36 and 6.3. The next one, Jenny's massive price here. Blade Racer, 134 at this stage. He's had 2 starts, though. He's finished last on both occasions. They've both been over the 1,000 metres here.
Of course, it just thins out a fair bit towards the flank area there. So that would just be my little concern. He's only a 3-year-old, so he's probably still got a bit to fill out, I would suggest, and he's probably going to be a nicer looking horse in probably 3 to 6 months' time. But look, he's very fit, but I'd like to see him just get a bit stronger.
Down the bottom we go, Jenny, to Young Empire. Alvin Ong takes the ride for Chris So, drawn barrier 9.
Very stocky, strong-bodied horse, this guy. He's not very tall, but he's got huge hindquarters, big chest, and he does carry a bit of condition as well. Getting closer to Class 5, I would expect he'd be better suited in that. He has got the light weight, but look, at best, well, not at best, I could give him a place chance because he is very strong.
All right, that's Young Empire. Alcazar's next, Jenny. Blinkers replace the pacifiers as he comes off the all-weather. Still a maiden after 16 starts, and again, very close to a class drop. Yes,
so he needs to lift his game. I would prefer him with that class drop as well, Andrew. I think that's where he's probably going to be better suited. But the fact that he's got 112 pounds and those blinkers are being reapplied here might just give him an opportunity to go a bit better. He looked really good last time he stepped out, but he ran poorly. And I think once again he parades quite nicely, walking out quite okay. He's a very fit-looking horse as well, so I can't rule him out, but I think he just needs it a bit weaker.
Yeah, well, as you say, he's not far away from a drop, so that might be better for him. Alcazar, he ran a honest enough race 2 back behind Kobe Oppa on the all-weather track, and a lot of his better runs have been on that surface. Placed once on the turf from 10 starts as they head out onto the track, Paul. Frustrated, was odds on earlier, but he's out to 2.3.
Yeah, he actually got out as far as 2.4. The all-ups went through, but 2.3 is his price at the moment. 4.4 about Lightning Steed. Now he is drifting back out. A lot of all-ups through him. Casper Founds, of course, winning 2 of the first 3 races. 5.8 about Iron King. 6.8 about Travel Daytook. They're all in the market, those horses. Then we're out to 15 about Mr. Right. And 25 after that to Everbrave, 28 Alcazar.
All right, well on the way down to the start for our 4th event, the feature race, which is the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. First leg of the triple trio. Jenny, who looked best from the eye?
I thought the 7, he's my best bet, and I really like the way he paraded, actually. Iron King, he was well behaved here in the parade. He's quite a mature-looking 3-year-old, this guy, and he looks like he's walking out nice and freely. I'd be happy enough to have him on top with Zach Purton there as well. So 7 on top of number 1, Frustrated, very sort of professional type in the parade. Nothing fazed him. His last win was really good, one with a little bit in hand. Gets that claim as well for Victor Wong here, and gate 1 does look ideal for him, so he's probably going to be very hard to beat, but he goes in as a Quinella horse for me. Number 4, Travel Day took 30 start maiden here in Hong Kong. You wouldn't believe that. He's had plenty of chances, but he just hasn't got the job done. He's been beaten short margins as well, but looks good. So he gets another opportunity here from gate number 2. And I'd probably take a little chance. So, Mr. Right still looks good, but I'd probably take a little chance with the first starter there in Dream Warriors. I didn't mind the way he presented. He just on his toes slightly as he went out, but he looks like he's done plenty of work from the Tony Cruz yard, and at those odds, not bad. His trials in Australia weren't too bad either. They were on wet tracks, but here he's actually trialled quite okay and just made up some ground late in that most recent trial as well. So in order for me, I'm going to go 7, 1, 4 and 5.
7, 1, 4, 5 for Jenny. Race 4, the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. 7, 1, 4, 5 as we head up to Tom for his thoughts with 4 minutes of betting time remaining. Tom.
Thanks, Brett. Frustrated he is clearly the horse to beat in this race. He's got the £7 claim once again of Victor Wong, which takes him down to the 126. He did carry the 113 last time out, so he's got 13 more pounds here. He copped 9 points for that victory as well, but he did win in good style, I thought. So he's drawn gate 1. There's no reason he can't go on with it. Travel Day took the long-standing maiden here for Matthew Chadwick and Richard Gibson. He jumped well. He just was caught wide last time out early, and then he had to slide back, but he did round off the race pretty well. Behind Frustrated did Travel Day took. Throwing in 3, Mr. Writer last start winner. That was from gate 1. He's got gate 4 here for Dylan Moe and Peter Ho, and he had a good kick in the straight last time out over Tom's Dragon, who's since been retired. And Iron King might be the best of the rest here at 580 and 190. Zach Purton Dennis, yep, he was ridden along from the 400, but he did fight on reasonably well behind Joyful Heart. He just was a little bit keen, I thought, last time out early in the run. So 1, 4, 3 and 7. Paul, race 4, they're at the start.
Yep, thanks, Tom. I've got the one on top as well, Frustrated. I think it was a really good win from him last time. He's up in weight, but with the apprentice claim, it's not a heavy weight to carry. I think he can win once again. The 3, Mr. Right. Now, he won last time. He's a likely leader in the race, and he's still really well rated. He's won off ratings of 62, 60 before. He's only rated 56 with a claim. So he's in there for second. Iron King, I agree with Jenny. Looks a really nice type going forward. Barrier number 5 for him. And General Iron, another one who's really well rated. You have to go back for his last win. It was a few seasons ago, but it was off 76. He's now rated 50. He'll get back with a bit of pace on. Can see him finishing nicely. 1, 3, 7, 9.
Yeah, it was a really good effort. 2 starts back. It was okay last time. He never really looked like a winning chance, but 2 starts prior behind Mr. Right, only beaten half a length, flashed home there. Same 4 numbers as Paul, just slightly different order. Same winner, same horse running 4th. The middle 2 just switched around. I thought those were the principal chances here, Brett. I mean, maybe you could make an argument for Travel Day took as well. But if you're looking for it's not a massive price each way, though, is the Iron King? 5.8, 1.9. But I thought him and Frustrated might be the 2 here.
Yeah, I just kept coming back to the top. I thought he won well last start. Look, Eris has been quite a speedy type and hard to get past for a while now, and he sat on his back last start and then really powered away from him final stages. Obviously more weight to carry tonight, but he looks progressive. He gets a similar run under the apprentice. I think he'll be hard to stop in the end. Mr. Right, the price baffles me a little bit. I think he's overs at that quote, considering his overall record and the run he's likely to get in the race. I've had Time Forever Brave. He's one that can bob up. I think he's been a bit stiff not to actually get a win so far. I've got him in 3rd and Iron King in for 4th. He obviously looks like he's got some ability, so he should be getting a nice run, hopefully, from gate 5. 1, 3, 2 and 7. Back to Jenny with a 7 on top.
Yep, and I've made him a best bet as well. I thought he paraded really well. He is having his first go around the circuit here, but he paraded like he'd been here before, so I'm happy enough to have him on top. From number 1, Frustrated, who also looked really well, so I think he will be quite hard to beat as well. The 4, Travel Day took, paraded well. He's got to get that win on the board. At least he's nicely drawn in gate 2, so he gets another chance. And then the 5, Dream Warriors. I didn't mind the way he presented. He's quite an athletic-looking type. He's got some height and scope about him, and he does look like he's done enough work going into this as well. There's a few gear on him going into this as well. He's got the hood, the pacifiers, and the tongue tie. But he looked pretty good, so I'm happy enough to have him in there. 7, 1, 4 and 5.
Light flashing, favourite goes even money. Paul, what do we do here in the 4th?
Yeah, I think we've got Mr. Right in there somewhere. So 1, 3, 7, the QQP for that. Frustrated even money there, and clear favourite from Lightning Steed, who's on the drift out to 5.8.
All right, Tom, it's all yours for the first leg of tonight's Triple Trio and our feature, race 4.
Thanks, Brett. And it is the feature, all right, the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup. First of a couple of 1,000 metre races here this evening. Class 2 1,000 metre race coming up later on. And he's into the red now, is Frustrated, the race favourite. He's coming forward. Iron King about to come up, Mr. Right. We've got Young Empire to move in. Happy Good Guys, Alcazar, Lightning Steed, General Iron. And also Dream Warriors to complete the line. For specking there around Travel Day, took on a place line at 150. He's at 6 for the win. There's 6 and 2 about Iron King, 6.10 and 2.80 Lightning Steed. They're the only 4 runners that are in single figures here for the 4th. 2 to come forward. 1,000 metre dash on this 8 race program. Dream Warriors comes up. General Iron coming forward to complete the line. 1.9 and 1.10 for the favourite Frustrated, drawn the inside gate. Ready to go, race 4. 1,000 metres. Bit of movement out wide. They're racing and away they go. Slow from the start was Dream Warriors. He missed it by about 2.5. One of the first out was Frustrated with Mr. Right, and right there Young Empire on their hammer third. Behind them came Blade Racer and Happy Good Guys. Deeper Lightning Steed 1.5 away. Ever Brave. Travel Day took being scrubbed along on the paint, followed by General Iron, and then came Iron King. Alcazar 2.5 away, and Dream Warriors 3.5 last down the side. Mr. Right burning along in front, 2 clear. On Frustrated second, Young Empire 2 lengths away. Then came Blade Racer, followed by Ever Brave round the outside of Happy Good Guys. Lightning Steed, Travel Day took General Iron. It's Mr. Right with Frustrated, but Mr. Frustrated is swept to the lead now from Mr. Right with less than 200 metres left to go, and he's got an unassailable lead here. Does Frustrated out of the pack as Travel Day took, but he's too good. Frustrated wins again over Travel Day took third. General Iron maybe from Ever Brave, and Mr. Right down on the inside. Alcazar, Lightning Steed, down the outside Dream Warriors, then came Young Empire, Iron King, Blade Racer, and Happy Good Guys back towards the tail. Frustrated, back-to-back wins for Frankie Law and Victor Wong. And he's gone to the line very comfortably over Travel Day took, who will rack up another placing in his 31 start career without winning. It's very close for third. I thought maybe General Iron in front of Ever Brave. Looking on shutter cam, General Iron just over Ever Brave, Mr. Right, Alcazar. As they've gone through in our feature race, the Indian Recreation Club Challenge Cup over the 1,000 metres. He's now won 2 from 4. Has the 3-year-old by All Too Hard out of Brave Soul. It's 1-4 a photo, 56.97. Inside standard, 57.25. 1-4, 9 and 2, unofficial after race number 4. They're racing and away they go. Slow from the start was Dream Warriors. He missed it by about 2.5. One of the first out was Frustrated with Mr. Right, and right there Young Empire on their hammer third. Behind them came Blade Racer and Happy Good Guys. Deeper Lightning Steed 1.5 away. Ever Brave. Travel Day took being scrubbed along on the paint, followed by General Iron, and then came Iron King. Alcazar 2.5 away, and Dream Warriors 3.5 last down the side. Mr. Right burning along in front, 2 clear. On Frustrated second, Young Empire 2 lengths away. Then came Blade Racer, followed by Ever Brave round the outside of Happy Good Guys. Lightning Steed, Travel Day took General Iron. It's Mr. Right with Frustrated, but Mr. Frustrated is swept to the lead now from Mr. Right with less than 200 metres left to go, and he's got an unassailable lead here. Does Frustrated out of the pack as Travel Day took, but he's too good. Frustrated wins again over Travel Day took third.
Yeah, he's just a bit too good, wasn't he? Frustrated. Runs out a very easy winner once more. There's the photo for third place, and the ever consistent General Iron at the young age of 9. Gets his nose down on the line there for Neil Callan to deny Ever Brave that third spot. So it was 1-4, 9 and 2 across the line. 2 1/4, an easy 2 1/4, and a slick time of 56.97.
Yeah, he looks smart, doesn't he? The winner, 1-4, 9 and 2. He had some pressure there from Mr. Right early, and he copped a fair bit of it, and then eventually Victor let him sit back and the leader pushed on, but he's won by a big space in the end. He'll go up in class now, and he returned $19.50, $11, so well back late into odds on. $14.50, $81, $43 the queue, $3.79 the trio, the tier's $1,063. QP's 1 and 4, 19.50, 1 and 9, 137, 4 and 9, 197, 2 and a quarter by 1 and a half, 56.97. So 1, 4, 9 and 2. Frankie Law's got another nice horse in his stable by the looks of it, Jenny.
Certainly has. He's only a 3-year-old as well, and that's only his 3rd start. He hasn't actually raced at Sha Tin yet, so we'll have to wait for him to go there and see what he can do on that circuit as well. But he can handle this one. There's no problem there. There's 2 on the trot for this horse, and he does look a handy type.
I don't think 1200, the way he sort of raced away at the end, will be too much of an issue for him. Might even be more beneficial with his natural gate speed too, because he did cop some pressure early.
Certainly did. He wins again. Travel Day took Paul, runs 2nd. So that's 31 starts now without winning, and they'd imagine Connections would be frustrated with him because he's bumped into frustrated in his last 2 starts. He's beaten the rest of them though.
Yeah, he has, and he's been placed, hasn't he, in these 2 occasions, and like, he's a very consistent horse on the place line. He just can't seem to get his nose in front, can't really get that photo, but 4 seconds prior to this, so that makes it 5 seconds now, 3/3, 3/4. And his form line reads 3-5-2-3-2, so very consistent, isn't he, on a place line?
He is. I mentioned there were 2 horses well tried for a place in early betting. They've both got in so far. Bundle of Energy in the first, Travel Day Took was the other. There was one more. I'm going to keep that to myself. No, it was Fearless Fire, actually.
Another one of Casper's.
Yes, another one of Casper's.
All right, okay. Well, Victor weighs in here on Frustrated, and he'll be darting back out as the rest of the Connections and trainer Frankie Law as well gather here in the parade ring for the trophy presentation of the Indian Recreation Club Challenge
It's been
Cup.
a decent season for Victor, 31 winners now. That's a pretty good effort from the young man.
Well, that reminds me actually, how far he's off losing that £7
I
claim.
can tell you, he's not far away. 45 is the tally, isn't it? That's 44.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's got one more. And then he'll be down to £5 as we await the jockey to arrive at the presentation. The newcomer was a little slow to move, Dream Warriors.
Yeah, look, he was very slow to move, no doubt about it, and he was sort of scrubbed along. He actually made up a little bit of late ground, but he was well off them. He might be looking for a fair bit further. And I thought Iron King was quite disappointing, actually. He didn't do a great deal.
Yeah, he never really got into it, and when they're not stopping in front like that, it makes it difficult, doesn't it? Victor rides, Paul, isn't your Moment of Power?
Yeah.
Your best bet?
He does. Long shot.
Long shot, sorry.
Yeah, he's currently at $10 chances.
Is he? He might come up a bit shorter than that.
Well,
let's hope so.
Yeah, he's 15s yesterday, but anyway, he's got a good chance, I thought, from the front.
Well, he's got Giant Turtle in the next, not without a chance.
No.
Forza Angel and then Moment of Power to round out things this evening if he's going to get that win to get the 7 down to the 5.
Just a little cheerio out to our cameramen as well. They do a marvellous job, marvellous effort there running along with the jockey.
Yeah, that was Jimmy and Gordy, I think. Yeah.
Be easy to go.
Gordon, sorry.
Base over
Gordy
Apex
to his mates. Gordon, I've been told.
He was doing there,
Give his
yes,
full name.
exactly. Yeah, you and I call him Gordy. The skipper doesn't. He doesn't like the skipper.
All right, Frustrated. Won his last 2 starts now, picks up the trophy here, the Indian Recreation Club trophy, which was founded in 1918. Racing was one of its early interests, along with cricket, no surprises there, badminton, hockey and tennis. The trophy was first run in 1964 and has been an annual competition since.
Good swimming pool there, I've been there. Indian Recreational.
Yep, Mr. Jagrup Dillon, the president, doing the presentation, accompanied by his wife. So great to have them here with us this evening at Happy Valley. 1492, and there is correct weight. QP's 1 and 4, 1950, 1 and 9, 137, 4 and 9, 197. Composite win 1550 on 1 and 7, the overnight favourites. $718 for the first 4, 1, 2, 4 and 9. Quartet 6,733. So it's a reasonable start to the TT, I would have thought. General Iron would have been thrown in by a few. And the favourites won. 352.50 for the double. Consolation 128.50. We'll get an approximate on how many people still going in the TT after leg one shortly. The double trio, $6,406, 5, 8, 9, 1, 4 and 9. Here's the patrol.
Here we go then. Winner and favourite, barrier 1. The horse slow out in the light blue jacket out of barrier 7 was Dream Warriors here on debut. Plenty of speed from Frustrated. You can see Mr. Right there in the yellow cap rolls forward as well, along with Young Empire from barrier 9. Those three, that's where the speed was. The white jacket is Happy Good Guys from barrier 12, looking for some cover. Right in behind the pace is where Frustrated finds himself in the end as Mr. Right goes on, and Victor's happy to get the trail.
Exactly, yeah. And Mr. Right, when he gets into this position, he can normally find the line okay. So the fact that he's been overhauled and only got into 4th and the winner's powered away to leave him in the dust is a pretty good sign for the winner.
Yeah, it certainly is. Goes away now. That's Blade Racer who's following him round. Slightly better effort from him. He might weaken out of it now. General Iron, red jacket, stays on very strongly, as does Travel Day. Took Ever Brave down the outside in the purple jacket. And Dream Warriors, light blue jacket, just trying to make up a little bit of ground late. But this is all Frustrated here. A super win. Goes back to back, 1, 4, 9 and 2 across the line, 2 1/4 by 1.5 the margin.
He looked like he needed another lap, Dream Warrior, didn't he? Yeah, he was struggling over the 1,000. 12.62, 21.47, 22.88. The time inside of standard at 56.97 on race 4.
Race number 5 then, up to the 2,200 metres here for the 5th. We jump a class as well, class 3 here. Helene Charisma, who is our favourite, has been up at Chung Far and back a couple of times in the last month. Once before his last win, and then since as well. Not a great deal of pace anticipated though, Paul.
Yeah, it's interesting because we heard from John Moore earlier on. He said Classic Beauty, he's quite keen to make it a staying test. So Giant Turtle and Classic Beauty likely to go forward. I think it'll be more on the good side. Vigor Fame won't be far away. Tasha Delic should get a nice run over this distance. He's interesting. Happy Dragon by Raven's Path. He should get a nice run as well. Rocketeer, he's been disappointing in the Helene Charisma. He'll be running on late. Heavenly Thought towards the back.
Yep. Helene Charisma's my best, and Tasha Delic is Tom's long shot. Here is Helene Charisma. It took a long time for this to take place. A win. 28 starts, in fact, but acclimatisation was a real issue. He even still hung in a little bit here, final stages. Vigor Fame battled on well, but he got the job done. He's won over 1.5 miles in France, so 2,200 at the Valley shouldn't be an issue.
No. And he did win this really nicely. He did. That
was it then.
Yeah, so did I.
He did run second off 97 when he first came here as well.
All right, Classic Beauty, who's another one of the John Moore runners. He's got 3. Helene Charisma, Happy Dragon and Classic Beauty. And I think John's own words, did he call him a one-batter?
Yeah, yes. He did say he was a pace influence in the race. I still think he'll run okay. He's been running some pretty good races. It was a good race here once again. Heavenly Thought's been very disappointing since he got here.
He has. So he's got to be in commission, you would think, Classic Beauty, off the basis of that run. Happy Dragon, when he did win here, he won by a big space. I don't think he'll start that price. I think he'll be a bit short, about $5, $6. But at the moment, Paul, the all-up support for Happy Sebring down the bottom, but Helene Charisma's solid in betting.
Yeah, 2.4. The Turtle's out to 10, 6.7 out to 10, Giant Turtle. Happy Dragon, 9.9, 10, Classic Beauty, 2.4, Helene Charisma. Heavenly Thought, 49, 96, Kung Fu Master Panda. Jolly Jean's out, 49 about Rocketeer, 26, Tasha Delic, 15, Cheerful Star. Now, Happy Sebring, 7 into 4.7, so plenty of support around Happy Sebring and Vigor Fame in the market down bottom, 7.6 into 7.1.
All right. Victor won the last race. Vincent's had a double, and he rides Happy Sebring, so that's probably the reason there's some all-up support going into the 11. Plenty of people still going in the TT.
Yep, there's after a leg now. We've had one. 181,450.
Excellent.
All right. First horse coming into the yard here then for the 5th, and it is going to be the mount of Victor Wong, Giant Turtle. Barrier 12 for him, Jenny. So he'll have to kick on. The 2200 metre start halfway down the back straight there. Giant Turtle we know as a front running type, and pretty good one as well. His last 3 starts behind Dark Dream, Enrichment and Waikuku.
Exactly, so that looks good on paper, doesn't it? We'll see whether he can bring that here. He looks in pretty good order. He's probably not the smoothest of walkers, that's the only thing, but very, very fit and nice and healthy in his coat. Really good, relaxed type of attitude. So I think he does look well. I'll probably have him on a place line. I think from gate 12 it's probably going to be awkward in the early stages.
Yeah, Giant Turtle, barrier 12. It does look a bit awkward, I agree, because it's a short run to that first bend and then it's a long sweeping turn into the home stretch on the first occasion. So he is going to have to work whatever he does. If he rolls forward, which he generally does, there'll be some power used early. We go on to Happy Dragon, Jenny. We heard John Moore speak about the distance being potentially a little bit of a query for the Raven Pass gelding, but he is in reasonable form.
Look, he is. He's a very awkward walking horse behind. You can probably see that for yourself there. He sort of puts that off hind down a little bit quick or stamps it down a touch. But he's a very nice bodied horse. He's tall, he's rangy, he's athletic, he's fit. He has got some strength about him as well. So he's been in pretty good form. I think he's probably got to be left there with a chance just on pure fitness and type alone. So I will leave him there, but that's the only little fault behind.
All right, that's Happy Dragon. The first, the John Moore runners. The next one is Classic Beauty. He's been runner up on his last 2 starts. Tries the 22 here at Happy Valley for the first time.
Awkwardly drawn as well in gate number 9, so he'll need a bit to go his way, but looks in good order. He's a nice, relaxed type of horse, very nicely put together. Always is quite sensible in the parade. He does have the 2 handlers on him here today, but he's not doing anything wrong, and he maintains his overall strength and fitness level, so I'd give him an each-way chance. Looks good.
Classic Beauty, followed by Helene Charisma, who is on screen. He's a 2.4 favourite to make it back-to-back.
Helene Charisma has been in terrific form of late. It took him forever, as we know, but I think that last win was good. He's been looking better as well, so I've got to leave him there with a good chance. He's got slightly warm around the flank area, nothing to be concerned about. Still a touch wintry in his coat, but walking out nicely enough, and he does look good.
That's the favourite, Helene Charisma. Off a mark of 82 now off the back of that win. So got 8 points for it, but I say, relatively speaking, he could probably still win, in theory, 2 or 3 more and still be well rated at what his peak rating was when he first arrived.
It will be interesting to see where he can go from here, taking into consideration what he did as a young horse. And now that he does, touch wood, look to be more settled, more comfortable.
I think Chung Fa's been a big
definitely
turning point for him.
Definitely, yep. He can relax out in the country and just travel into the city from time to time.
Heavenly Thought next, Jenny. 44 and 8 about Heavenly Thought, who's yet to do anything in 6 starts here in Hong Kong so far.
Yes, well, he was actually he was on that Derby mission, but it just never happened. So arrived on a rating of 88. He's only down to 80 at the moment. He looks well. He's a very quiet and relaxed type of horse. He does look fit enough, and he seems to be walking out freely. Attitude is good, so I can't say no about him. He looks perfectly okay.
Fairly well exposed in Australia. I know he was a Group 3 winner at Doomben and had a number of wins, 3 in total. He won at Sandown and also at... he won twice at Sandown and once at Doomben, but he did have 12 starts. I don't think he's settled in yet. Kung Fu Master Panda, Jenny, you've only seen him once. He's up to a longer trip tonight. What's your impression of the Master?
Well, the Master was actually owned by the Queen originally, and then ended up in Ireland with a trainer there who suggested that he might be okay over Stonewall hurdling. So I don't think that was a big rap. But look, the horse is very quiet. He's fit. He's neatly enough put together, and he's walking out okay. So he gets a pass, but he needs to improve off that debut performance.
Kung Fu Master Panda then. Bento and Benno Young. This is Rocketeer. There's another horse who was a Derby hopeful last season now for Rocketeer. Frankie Law and Neil Callan.
They've taken the gear off him. The visor's come off and the tongue tie. The horse has always been a really nice horse to look at, and he's always had a fantastic attitude as well. That remains the same. His coat is good. He still walks out nicely. He still carries a little bit of condition around the midsection, but he's been out of sorts, really. He hasn't been racing all that well, so he needs to lift, but he doesn't look bad.
Yeah, just the one win for Rocketeer. He, in the early stages of his career, potentially looked like a genuine Derby horse, sort of October, November of the year preceding his Derby. He looked a big chance of being right in the Derby, and it fizzled out for him, and it hasn't gone much better since. So I don't think the distance will be an issue for him, but he's overall been quite disappointing, the son of Smart Missile. But what price? 40-odd to 1 tonight. All right, from Rocketeer to Tashadelic, which is Tom's long shot, Jenny. How's he looking?
Not too bad. He's quite a tall horse. He's got the two handlers on him, just got himself slightly warm. Nothing to be overly concerned about at this stage. But yeah, he's sweating, and his fitness level looks to be okay. For me, I could have him just on a place line. I wouldn't be surprised if he went a touch better here. He looks okay. He looks fit enough, just a tad warm.
All right, that's Tashadelic, the 9. 24 and 4.9. Jimmy Ting, Grant van Neerkerk from barrier 2. Those 4 starts with success so far. Hasn't picked a check-up as yet, but owned by the Contented and Happy Syndicate. So let's hope they are in 9 minutes' time.
That's the way to be, Andrew, if you can.
Cheerful Star should be the next one at 15 and 3.3. Is he there, Cheerful Star? He is. Karis Teeton for another one for Frankie Law here. What was he doing? He had a couple of runs through February down the fields behind Tianchi Monster, though, last time. In a Derby form, he ran okay in the Derby itself.
Yeah, look, he's drawn awkwardly in gate number 10 here, and he drew gate 9 last time, and I thought he put in a better effort. And I quite like the way he's parading this horse. He's not overly big, but he's quite neatly put together. He's got a good attitude, walks out nice and clean. His fitness level looks spot on. His health looks really good. So I'm going to leave him there with some sort of chance here. He did arrive here with some wet track form from France, so he's not going to get those conditions here tonight, but he actually looks well.
All right, that's Cheerful Star. Here's Happy Sebring, Jenny. Vincent Ho has had a terrific night so far, and there's been some all-up support for this guy. You do have to take him with a pinch of salt. He's a little bit untrustworthy.
He is, and he's got just a little bit of an attitude in the parade as well. He's been on his toes here and there, and he's a little bit bossy. You can see him throwing his head around a touch and making it difficult for his Mafu there. He's a very strong-bodied horse, though. He started to sweat up a touch as well. So, look, he's got good strength. Just a little bit difficult, that's the only thing. Place claims for me.
That's Happy Sebring. I thought his last run was pretty good. Again, he's coming out of that same race, that Tianchi Monster race that Cheerful Star is, but I thought that was all right. And if he gets this trip, can settle, he's got a decent turn of foot. Vigor Fame's been running quite well, Jenny. He's a bit playful down there at the moment. It was a good effort behind Elaine Charisma last time.
Yeah, this is our funny walker. Remember, he did this from day one when we saw him. So he is a bit of a strange walking horse, and he just gets himself a little excited in the parade. But he tenses up, so this is all sort of normal for him. I think he looks really fit, though, and very healthy. He's got a grey fleck through his coat, but really healthy shine to it. Ignore the way he walks. That's just him. It's just him being silly. But he's well.
The performance he put in a couple of starts ago was a Herculean effort. He did a lot of work early and was still there at the end, just overcome by 1 or 2 in the final stages. Eventually, Joe's got him out onto the track, a little bit of crab walking there to the track, but now he's in full flight down towards the start and very much in commission as well. We'll get Jenny's numbers from the paddock in a short time. 2,200 Paul on 2.4 and a 2.3 for Helene Charisma.
Yeah, very well-backed favourite, isn't he, Helene Charisma? Happy Sebring at 5.6. 7.1 Vigor Fame. 9.4 Classic Beauty Happy Dragon. Then 11 about Giant Turtle. 15 is the next one. That's his Cheerful Star. And then out to 25 about Tashadelic. But Helene Charisma the favourite.
All right, yeah, 2.3, 1.3. Punters see him going back-to-back. Jenny, what did you see from down there in the yard?
Yeah, look, sort of tossing up between the 3 and the 4, but I'm happy enough to go with the 3 on top here. Classic Beauty. I thought he paraded really well. His recent form has been okay with Sylvester de Souza on board, of course, who is no longer here. Matthew Poon takes up the reins here. Gate number 9 does look awkward. He is making his Happy Valley debut as well, so there's a few little ifs and buts with him, but he's going out at really reasonable odds, and he did parade very well, equally as well as Helene Charisma. So I'm going to go 3 to beat number 4, then the 10. I thought Cheerful Star paraded really nicely as well. He's only had 9 starts here in Hong Kong. He's yet to place 116 pounds with Karis Teaton on board. Thought he looked really fit and well from the Frankie Law yard, so I'd take a little chance with him at the odds. And then of the rest, number 12, Vigor Fame, who just gets a little excited and tenses up in the parade. That's normal for him. His most recent run was good. Joe on board from gate number 11 here. So another one he'll need a touch of luck, but might go forward and give a pretty good sight. Thought he looked well, and he has got a little bit stronger as time's gone on. So 3, 4, 10 and 12.
Thank you, Jenny. 3, 4, 10, 12. 3, 4, 10, 12 from Jenny here. Race number 5 as we head up to Tom. 2,200 metres, Tom, and Helene Charisma can make it back-to-back for you.
He certainly can. He finally got that win last time out over the 1,800 metres. So stepping up to the 2,200 metres, I don't see an issue for him here tonight. 2.3, 1.34 a place. He got a good report from Jenny down in the paddock. Had a nice run on the fence and charged away with Zach Purton on board last time out. So he's the one for me. Tashadelic I'm going to throw out there. A bit of a stab in the dark with him at 25s and 5s, but he has won over 2,130 metres. On the pace last time out in the race that was eventually won by Tianchi Monster, and he was headed at the 250 metres, and I don't think he was that bad. He was only 5.5 away from the winner, so I thought it was a better effort from him, Tashadelic. 2 Happy Dragon, he's the winner of 2 of his last 3 races. He won well last time out over Brave Legend. That was over 1,800 metres, trying at 2,200 metres here in Hong Kong for the first time is Happy Dragon. And I'll throw in Happy Sebring here for Vincent Ho and Tony Cruz. He settled second to last, but he kept making ground wider out last time out. And the Tianchi Monster race, he was only 2.5 away. So 4, 9, 2 and 11. Paul, for race number 5, our staying contest.
Yeah, I like the 4 as well. Helene Charisma heading towards odds on at the moment at 2.2 currently. Very coming up pretty short. Happy Dragon looks really well placed in this race as well. I do like him up to 2,200 metres. The Ravens passes have got no problem as stayers. The 3 Classic Beauty. So I'm going for the John Moore Tears here, 4, 2, 3. And Giant Turtle, he's been downgraded and should lead there. It will be on the pace with Victor Wong's claim. 4, 2, 3, 1. Top of the book for me, Andrew. Yeah.
Helene Charisma for me as well. I think he's probably turned a corner in the last few runs. Good efforts even before that win. Chung Fa's been possibly the making, has certainly helped the course somewhat as well. So I think he can go on, and hopefully he can go on with it as well, because he really was a nice horse. Happy Dragon, I've got a 1-2 there for John Moore. Then looking towards the bottom, Brett, with Happy Sebring and Vigor Fame. Did absolutely nothing wrong last time out behind Helene Charisma. And every chance he could get pretty close once more. 4, 2, 12 and 11.
Yeah, I've got 4 to beat 2 as well, and then 11 and 10. So I'm making Helene Charisma my best of the night. I'm not overly happy about the price, but that's what he is, 2.2. I hope he doesn't get any skinnier than that. I'll be in trouble. But I've got him as the top selection. I think Happy Dragon's the testing material for me. When he won 3 starts ago, he defeated Bank on Red and he raced away to score by 3 lengths. So if he can run the 2,200 and carry this weight, I think he potentially might be able to test Helene Charisma. We'll have to wait and see. And then the lightweights, 11 Happy Sebring and 10 Cheerful Star at a bit of value I'll throw in for 4th. 4, 2, 11 and 10. Jenny has the 3 on top.
Yeah, I didn't have much between the 3 and the 4, but I've decided to go with the 3 Classic Beauty on top, just at the odds here. He looked really well. He's beautifully behaved. He's very strong, walked out beautifully. So he's on top of Helene Charisma, who's been in really good form. Should be hard to beat. The 10 Cheerful Star paraded nicely as well. Very fluent in his walking action. Gate 10 does look awkward on paper. Likely to get back. Need a touch of luck in the straight. He's only got a lightweight. Did parade well, so he goes in. And then the 12 Vigor Fame just gets all tense and toey in the parade, but he did look fit and he has got stronger. So 3, 4, 10 and 12 for me.
All right on start time here, Paul. Favourites well backed. to go in again, like flashes. What do you think we do?
John Moore, 2, 3, 4. The 3 John Moore horses. As Helene Charisma gets back, then once again he's now into 2.1. There's Helene Charisma, well, really well back favourite. Happy Sebring 6.1, Vigor Fame 7.3. Then the other 2 John Moore runners, Classic Beauty at 9.3, and then 9.7 about Happy Dragon. Helene Charisma back to 2.2 now.
All right, let's go up to Tom as they move in. 2,200 metres for the Mount Collison Handicap, race 5.
Thanks, Brett. Helene Charisma, 220 and 130 is the race favourite. He's standing nicely in the gates next to Tasha Delic. Happy Dragon down in gate 1. Vigor Fame stands well, as too does Classic Beauty. Heavily thought about to come up. Frankie Law and Umberto Rispoli. Frankie with the winner in the previous. Frustrated. Winning nicely. Happy Sebring about to come up. Kung Fu Master Panda. Giant Turtle to take his place in the outside stall. The last of them in will be Rocketeer for the field of 11 here over 2,200 metres. Favourite at 220, Helene Charisma, as Rocketeer backs out at the first attempt. He goes in this time. Backs away once again. So just having a bit of trouble here with Rocketeer, who's holding up the start at the moment. Rest stand well, 240 about Helene Charisma. Vigor Fame's been hit at 420. All set to go now. 2,200 metres, race 5 here at Happy Valley. The field are off and away. Happy Sebring stood there and missed it by about 4 lengths at the start. Now Tasha Delic first out. Heavenly Thought, Vigor Fame dashing around the outside. Giant Turtle, he's wide and looking to take closer order around the outside. Followed by Happy Dragon down on the rail. Then came Rocketeer, Classic Beauty, Helene Charisma next on the fence. He has 3 behind him. They are Kung Fu Master Panda, Cheerful Star, who was very rank around that turn, is back there with Happy Dragon, Happy Sebring, rather the last of them, as they race past the 1,650 metres. And it's Vigor Fame for Joe Moreira here in front over Giant Turtle second. Classic Beauty surging forward to try and put a bit more pace on in the race at the winning post with a round to go. Tasha Delic is 4th down on the rail from Heavenly Thought, and then came Happy Dragon. 1.5 Rocketeer, Helene Charisma, 3 behind him. They are Kung Fu Master Panda, who's back there with Happy Sebring, and Cheerful Star, one of the last ones. So 13.92, that was inside standard. Then they ran 23.15, that was inside standard. 24.52, that was inside standard. So a good gallop as they head towards the 1,000 metres. Vigor Fame by a length and a half on Classic Beauty second. Tasha Delic down on the rail third. A length and a half, Giant Turtle camped on the outside of Happy Dragon. Helene Charisma next, followed by, on the outside, Heavenly Thought. There's Happy Sebring. He's been roused forward on the outside, and he's now surging around the outside of the field. Rocketeer behind him, so too is Kung Fu Master Panda, and on the inside, Cheerful Star. Race on in earnest as they gallop past the 600 metres. Vigor Fame with Happy Sebring, who went from near last to up to sit second. 2 lengths away, Classic Beauty. Tasha Delic's had a nice run on the rail. Then came Happy Dragon, followed by Giant Turtle. Helene Charisma's travelling. He just needs an out. Heavenly Thought caught deep, followed in turn by Cheerful Star. Vigor Fame out to the middle of the track. Leads here over Tasha Delic. Up the inside, Happy Dragon, Helene Charisma, and Happy Sebring there as well. Up the inside, Helene Charisma with Happy Dragon, Tasha Delic, Helene Charisma. Gee, hasn't the penny dropped now? He's gone back to back. Helene Charisma has beaten home Tasha Delic and Happy Dragon. Followed in by Happy Sebring. Then came Rocketeer, Cheerful Star. Followed in turn by Classic Beauty, Vigor Fame, Giant Turtle, Kung Fu Master Panda, and Heavenly Thought, the last of them. Helene Charisma goes back to back. John Moore and Zach Purton gets the prize. The 6-year-old by Air Marshal racks up win 2 at start 29 here in Hong Kong. Tasha Delic's gone a good race for second. Jimmy Ting, Grant van Niekerk, Happy Dragon, Happy Sebring. In front of Rocketeer, Cheerful Star, Classic Beauty, Vigor Fame, weekend out of it, Giant Turtle, Heavenly Thought, Kung Fu Master Panda. But the 2,200 metre Class 3 Mount Collison handicap has gone to Helene Charisma, Zach Purton and John Moore. 4.92 and 11, 214.88. That's pretty much 2 seconds inside of Standard. Standard 2:16.85, so a very good gallop. 4.92 and 11, Helene Charisma. Is race 5 here at Happy Valley. The field are off and away. Happy Sebring stood there and missed it by about 4 lengths at the start. Now Tasha Delic first out. Heavenly Thought, Vigor Fame dashing around the outside. Giant Turtle, he's wide and looking to take closer order around the outside. Followed by Happy Dragon down on the rail. Then came Rocketeer, Classic Beauty, Helene Charisma next on the fence. He has 3 behind him. They are Kung Fu Master Panda, Cheerful Star, who was very rank around that turn, is back there with Happy Dragon, Happy Sebring, rather the last of them, as they race past the 1,650 metres. And it's Vigor Fame for Joe Moreira here in front over Giant Turtle second. Classic Beauty surging forward to try and put a bit more pace on in the race at the winning post with a round to go. Tasha Delic is 4th down on the rail from Heavenly Thought, and then came Happy Dragon. 1.5 Rocketeer, Helene Charisma, 3 behind him. They are Kung Fu Master Panda, who's back there with Happy Sebring, and Cheerful Star, one of the last ones. So 13.92, that was inside Standard. Then they ran 23.15, that was inside Standard. 24.52, that was inside Standard. So a good gallop as they head towards the 1,000 metres. Vigor Fame by a length and a half on Classic Beauty second. Tasha Delic down on the rail third. A length and a half Giant Turtle camped on the outside of Happy Dragon. Helene Charisma next, followed by on the outside Heavenly Thought. There's Happy Sebring. He's been roused forward on the outside and he's now surging around the outside of the field. Rocketeer behind him, so too is Kung Fu Master Panda, and on the inside Cheerful Star. Race on in earnest as they gallop past the 600 metres. Vigor Fame with Happy Sebring, who went from near last to up to sit second. 2 lengths away Classic Beauty. Tasha Delic's had a nice run on the rail. Then came Happy Dragon, followed by Giant Turtle. Helene Charisma's travelling, he just needs an out. Heavenly Thought caught deep, followed in turn by Cheerful Star. Vigor Fame out to the middle of the track, leads here over Tasha Delic. Up the inside Happy Dragon, Helene Charisma, and Happy Sebring there as well. Up the inside Helene Charisma with Happy Dragon, Tasha Delic, Helene Charisma. Gee, hasn't the penny dropped now? He's gone back to back. Helene Charisma has beaten.
Yes, ka-ching, exactly, it has. He's won 2, took a long time to win 1, and now it's 2. In the end for Helene Charisma, just tracked into the race beautifully. Tasha Delic battled on really well. That was Tom's long shot. He got up for second, just over Happy Dragon, who ran a good honest race. 4.92 and 11. Happy Sebring got them moving a long way out.
$24 about the winner, 13 at place. Tasha Delic, $55 the return. Happy Dragon runs third, $23.50, and 11 Happy Sebring. In fourth, Quinella 4 and 9, $236.50. The trio 2, 4 and 9, $529. The tiers 4, 9 and 2 for $2,815. 2 lengths by a head, Jenny, and the time 2:14.88. I know we don't run the 2200 all that often, but I think it's a track record.
Yeah.
Well, it's congratulations to John Moore, who's just turned this horse around. We didn't see anything from him in about 20 starts, but his last 4 have been terrific, and he's won that one with a bit of authority as well. Mind you, he would have been pretty happy with all that pace on as well. There's a number that will sleep very well tonight. Vigor Fame, Happy Sebring and Classic Beauty. They all worked really, really hard.
It's Declan Schuster, who's club reporter now for the Jockey Club, walking back in with Zach there.
Yeah, he's a nice young lad, Declan. Only been here for a couple of weeks, and he'll be getting the lowdown and the debrief from Zach there on the performance. As you've said, 2:14.88, a track record, and Helene Charisma, off the basis of that performance, be hard to beat in what he races in next, you would think, too. We'll take a look at it again. Barrier 3, stepped away kindly. Tasha Delic and Happy Dragon underneath him, both pressed forward. Joe was fairly keen on Vigor Fame to roll forward and gather up the lead. He did that from Heavenly Thought, Giant Turtle wider out. Tasha Delic quite keen in the initial stages as well. Happy Dragon, you can see that Helene Charisma's actually dropped his head quite well towards the middle, back end part of the field. Kung Fu Master Panda alongside. Cheerful Star, and Happy Sebring very slow to move. He settles last. He does make a mid-race move when they get into the back, but as they salute the judge with a circuit to go, Vigor Fame under a good hold from Joe Moreira, and now Classic Beauty moves to his quarters to give Giant Turtle the 1x1.
Yeah, still getting the 2x2 here. I know, I said before, it's not a distance we run every week. They've run a track record time here. You just keep an eye on Helene Charisma. He travels so strongly in this. Zach even down the back looks like he's trying to take a pull out of him. He wants to go quicker. There's a bit of class about this horse, and hopefully they can go on to bigger and much better things, because he has performed in group company in the past. But Bigger Fame out in front. The challenge comes from Happy Sebring right from the back. He was very slow out of the gates in the first instance, but ultimately Vincent Ho not happy with the pace, so he's off and gone. Kung Fu Master Panda there at the back, and Ben Sir has a think about following him as well. But the favourite at this stage, the pace is on. Zach, you can just see, just looking, waiting for the gap. He has to be patient, but it all works out perfectly.
Yeah, he just got off the rail there. He saw Giant Turtle in front of him, and he's got Happy Dragon to his inside, and he can see Giant Turtle's going nowhere, so he has to change course here, and he eventually gets onto the back of Happy Dragon. So a bit of navigating here, as you can see, with the eventual winner. Happy Dragon goes for that rails run when Tashadelic leaves the fence, and Zach goes to the clear air that's made available, and then he tracks down towards the rail with Happy Dragon, who does accelerate quickly past Bigger Fame. You can see battling on is Happy Sebring and Tashadelic. In the end, though, Helene Charisma just really opening up the pipes final stages and moved away for a very convincing win. Tashadelic a good run in second, and Happy Dragon, Happy Dragon good in third.
They've weighed in on race 5. QP's 4 and 9, $85. 2 and 4, 40.50. 2 and 9, $206.50. Any two in the first 3 there. The QP. Composite win. The overnight favourites here. A1 the selection. $15 the return. It was Helene Charisma and the well-backed Bigger Fame who were in that category. First 4, 2, 4, 9 and 11. $796. The quartet, if you found it, was 4, 9, 2 and 11 for $13,360. That was Happy Sebring, who held on for 4th place. As far as the doubles are concerned, races 4 and 5, the 2 winners, 1 into 4. It was Frustrated, won the previous, 35.50. 1 into 9, Tashadelic, who ran second, 116.50. The sectionals, sit down for this one, 13.92, standard 14.10. 23.15, standard 23.5. 24.52, standard 25. So inside for the first 3, inside for the next as well. 25.26, standard 25.45. 24.06, standard 24.6. Then 24.2. Overall time of 2:14.88. The standard is 2:16.85. It is a new track record here at Happy Valley for the 2,200 metres. Helene Charisma's name goes into the book.
That it does.
Race number 6 then. Back to the 1,200 metres here. It's a Class 3 contest. Joyful Union is our favourite. Zach Purton will ride him as well. But Fearless Fire and Happy Win-Win are the horses we take note of, as far as the ones that have been up at Chung Farah back within the last month. We have a look at the speed map here, Paul. And the big 2 names here, as far as the market's concerned anyway, Joyful Union and Noble Delight. They look like they both get a pretty good run.
Yeah, they should, just in behind the pace setters. Forza Angel's likely to lead. Strathclyde can go forward from his wide draw. Noble Delight won't be far away. Joyful Union should get a nice run. Elite Pats, he should be able to slot in. Beauty Law is the one that'll be looking for some space.
All right. Let's hear from Neil Callan with regards to Handsome Rebel, who's drawn barrier 12.
Neil, Handsome Rebel, lightly raced 3-year-old here in Hong Kong. Is he starting to find some form?
Yeah, look, his last few runs have been quite progressive. You know, he's a nice young horse. He does everything right, and like I say, he's had it a little bit troublesome with his draws, but he's pulled another bad gate again. But look, you know, he walked home quite well from a bad gate last time, so you know, obviously he's going to be dependent on what sort of speeds in the race to determine where he's going to sit and how well he can run.
Would you like them to go to a decent tempo?
Of course, the faster to go, the better for him, coming from a wide draw. Gives the back markers a chance to get into the race, but you know, like that's not in our hands. We just got to wait and see, have a look at the speed maps, see where the speed's going to come from, and you know, have a look at the makeup of the race, and then decide what we're going to do when I speak to me.
All right, that's Neil Callan on Handsome Rebel. Barrier 12, so yeah, quicker the better for him. All up market though, Paul, what are we looking at?
Fearless Fire's come in quite a lot, 7.4 into 4.3, another one of the Casper Founds runners, but Supreme Patrol's out over 100 to 1, Handsome Rebel 11, Forza Angel out to 22, Joyful Union's been rock solid at 3.2, Elite Pat's 11, Mighty Power 48 out to 79, Fearless Fire, the mover as we said, 7.4 into 4.3, Happy Win-Win out to 54, Beauty Loyal out to 32, Nevis out to 27, Strathclyde's out to 13, and Noble Delight 3.7.
All right, TT. Now we've had 2 legs and there's 1,894 left.
Yes, there's still plenty left going into the last leg.
There's about 180,000 we lost there, though. Tasha Delic, probably the one in that last race you wanted to find outside of John Moore, otherwise, wasn't it? Happy Dragon, Elaine Charisma.
Yeah, I think most people would have had Elaine Charisma, Happy Dragon potentially. So, yeah, Tasha Delic, which was Tom's long shot, wedged in between them. Here's Noble Delight. He's down the bottom. He's got a light weight and a good barrier, Jenny, and he looks pretty cruisy at the moment, a fairly relaxed horse.
Yep, and a typical relaxed one from the John Size yard. He's not overly tall and he's a bit of a lightly framed type. He only weighs in 1,014 pounds, but he looks in good order. He's really fit, he's very healthy, and you can see how laid back he is as well. So I think with the lightweight and the good draw with Joe on board here, he's a legitimate chance in this race.
Noble Delight is place favourite, 1.4. He was a long-time favourite as well, but Zach riding the previous winner, Joyful Union, he's shortened most of the day as well, Joyful Union, on the back of a good effort last time with Joe in the saddle in actual fact, but he's claimed by John Size this evening, of course. Does have the weight advantage also, just the 115 on his back to Joyful Union's 125. £10 is £10. Navas is next, Jenny. It was a winner 2 starts back. It was a scramble home, though. He scored by a nose, beating Dollar Rewards, but far from disgraced, I suppose, behind Water Diviner last time out. The form looks good behind him.
Yeah, look, he actually parades quite nicely, this horse. He's really healthy in his coat, and he's quite a strong, sort of stocky type, walking out nice and freely as well. A winner in Class 4, this is Class 3, so it is a tougher assignment for him, and he's got to do it from gate number 10, so that's my big concern. But I think the horse looks really well, so I could still leave him there with some chance the way he presents.
All right, that's the 10. Navis, we go from 10 to 1, Supreme Patrol. How's he looking, Jenny? He's 100 to 1. He's had the 1 start.
He was 127 to 1 on debut as well. He obviously comes from South Africa, this horse, and he did have some 2-year-old form there as well. Now, he was in need of that first up run, and I think he's tightened up a little bit for it, but probably one more run's not going to hurt him. But a good attitude, and walking out nice and freely as well. But yeah, I think he'll just trim up for this one run. Oh, well, sorry, second run here, and he should be spot on by then.
All right, here's Handsome Rebel. We just heard Neil talking about him behind Blitzing, a number around behind Blitzing, including Supreme Patrol. But Handsome Rebel closed off strongly in 4th.
He's going to need a really good ride. He hasn't had any luck with the gates, this horse, so he's drawn awkwardly again here tonight in gate number 12. Now, he's not tall, but he is very strong and stocky, walking out freely enough, carries a bit of weight around the midsection as well. So if luck was to go his way, I could leave him on a place line.
All right, on to Forza Angel, who shot a lot of pace last start, Jenny, and travelled strongly in the run, but he did weaken out, which is something he's done quite a lot so far.
Yeah, well, they've gone for the blinkers, so we'll see whether or not that makes a difference. He's a 5-year-old that's had 5 starts here in Hong Kong. He had a number of starts, 8 starts overseas prior to coming, but yeah, obviously they've had a few little niggling issues with him. But he seems to be well enough behaved here in the parade, and he looks in quite good order, actually, so I can't really knock him too much. I think he parades well. He's got some strength and some fitness about him. He is bandaged on those hind legs quite high, so perhaps he just knocks those a little.
OK, that's Forza Angel, 20 to 1. Here's the favourite, Jenny, Joyful Union, who it was a moment ago walking out with a fair bit of purpose.
Yep, he was, and he's well in the market, as you say, and he's strong, he's neatly put together. He's a little bit on his toes here and there, but in a good way. He looks good. Nothing wrong with him, Joyful Union. He looks in pretty good shape, and I like the strength pretty much all over. It's well spread.
All right, that is the 4. Now, what about the 5 Jenny, the Japanese-bred horse who's had the 2 starts? He hasn't been beaten all that far last outing behind Blitzing, and a good barrier.
I thought he was probably in need of both of those runs. I'm just going to wait for him to head down towards me so I can get a better look at him. He did improve from first to second run as well. Now, well behaved, and he's very strong-shouldered and chested, decent hindquarters on him as well. He's trimmed up a little bit, still carrying a touch, but I think he might always I think that's the type that he is. So don't mind the way he presents. If he was to run well, he wouldn't shock either. He looks good.
His 2 wins have been on the dirt in Japan, but it was a good effort last time out. Mighty Power, Jenny. Now, he's been down to run twice, but unfortunately missed those engagements through a knock on a fetlock and a lameness issue right 4. But I thought his trials have actually looked okay.
Yeah, look, he's actually parading quite okay. He's just having a good look around here in the parade. He's had a lame right leg. That was back on the 15th of January, and he also had a wound to his right fetlock joint. So those are the reasons that he has been scratched at his intended starts. But he seems to be walking out nicely enough. He did win a trial over in New Zealand prior to coming here. So, sorry, not a trial, a race, I should say. He had 10 starts there. So he's obviously got some ability, and he looks like he's free enough in his action. One run would probably just trim him up, I think, so place claims only.
Okay, that is Mighty Power. We've got Fearless Fire on screen. Jenny, riding commission. How's he parading tonight?
A little bit toey. He's an athletic enough horse, though. He's quite fit. He has been on his toes before in the parade, so this is not unusual for him. But I think his fitness level is good. For that reason, I'll leave him there with a chance.
All right, on to Happy Win-Win. Inside gate for Umberto Rispoli here. Another one behind Blitzing last time. He finished 8th.
Happy Win-Win is walking out freely enough. He's a little bit anxious, but he's well enough in himself. He's got some strength. Needs to improve, though, on what we've seen, those 3 starts to date. He probably hasn't done enough for my liking. Gate 1 gives him an opportunity to go a bit better. He's okay. He doesn't stand out, though.
Okay, Jenny, Beauty Loyal on screen. He's drawn barrier 11 for Matthew Poon. Just 3 minor placings so far.
Yeah, blinker's being applied for him for the first time as well. I think his recent runs have been a bit on the average side, and I really didn't like his most recent trial either. So he needs to lift in that respect. He's a tall, rangy type. He has got some strength. He doesn't look bad. So I can't rule him out on looks. He's certainly well enough.
All right, we've seen Navas. We move on to the 11. Strathclyde, Tony Millard, Regan Bayliss off the all-weather here. He's a 3-time winner. Those wins have been at Chartin, though. Twice on the dirt and once down the straight.
Yeah, look, he's a nice scopy, strong type, walks out beautifully, looks in good order. I've actually made him a long shot, and I'm pretty happy with how he presents here. He's just slightly warm around the flank area, but fluent and good. So I'll leave him there with a chance.
All right, that is Strathclyde, and that completes our look at the runners. We saw Noble Delight. I think we saw him earlier, didn't we? Yeah, we saw him first. So there he is just again, if you missed that, who is almost an equal favourite with Joyful Union. Paul, there's only 1/10 of a point separating the 4 and the 12 in the betting.
Yeah, really close, isn't it? With Joyful Union still the favourite at this stage at 3.4. Noble Delight not far away, though, at 3.5. Fearless Fire, he's been really well backed. He's a clear second favourite at 4.7. In fact, he's the only other one in single figures. Elite Patch at 10. Handsome Rebel was in the market at 11. Strathclyde to a degree there at 13. And then we go out to 20, about Forza Angel.
All right, the market's got it narrowed down to 3, Jenny, but you get 4.
Yes, look, I do. Now, the favourite does parade really well here. He's not overly tall, but he's a really neatly put together type. He looks in good order, and his recent racing has been okay as well. Gate 2 with Zach on board. He looks like he could be well served here. I've got to leave him there with a chance. I thought the 11 had to go in as well, Strathclyde. He's a horse that paraded very well. He's still in here and behaved, very nicely. Strong, really fluent, got plenty of scope about him as well. He's just, as I said, slightly warm around the flank area, but in good order. The 10, Navis. Now, Gate 10 for him looks awkward, but gee, looks well, this horse. I've got to have to leave him there with a chance. Tougher assignment for him, up in class. but definitely looks in good condition and walked out beautifully. And the 12, Noble Delight, he's only small, this horse, but he looks as well as he can at the moment. So in order, I've gone 4, 11, 10 and 12.
All right, thank you, Jenny. 4, 11, 10, 12. The 11 is Jenny's long shot of the night. 4, 11, 10, 12. 5 minutes out, race 6. Tom, what are your thoughts?
4 on top for me as well, Brett. Joyful Union, Benno Jung and Zach Purton combining here. Went round at 5.90 first up. That was in the race that was won by Speed Vision. Last time out went round at 15s, but he kept coming. He might have just been a little bit green, wanted to run in behind, split of a second, maybe over the concluding stages, but I thought it was a pretty nice effort from him. So he is third up here, and we've seen improvement from start 1 to start 2. So hoping to see that trend continue here with Joyful Union. 12, Noble Delight. He's won 2. Here, course and distance from his 6. He had every chance in the trail last time out, and he was just collared late for a minor end of the prize, that particular prize being second. He ran third, but just run down late for that second prize. That was the race that was won by Blitzing. He's drawn nicely here, gate 4. Throwing at 11, Strathclyde. Prior to last start, his form had been actually okay. He made up a little bit of ground out wider last start in the race that was won by Phantom Falcon. That was on the all-weather over 1,200 metres, drawn 10. He's got Regan Bayliss here from 7. And 2, Handsome Rebel, my next best. He's drawn out wide here. He's had a terrible run with the barriers recently, but he made ground at the end behind Blitzing, only 1 3/4 away. 4, 12, 11 and 2, Paul, race.
Cảm giác
Good position, found some cover, but he Union 4-12. Handsome
Noble Delight in for second. 4, Joyful Union I've got in for third. He's currently equal favourite with the bottom one. And then 7, Fearless Fire. Mentioned earlier there was place money for him early. There's been a lot of all-up money in the win line too, with Casper having a couple of wins earlier. 5.1, so 2, 12, 4, 7 for me as we head back to Jenny with 2 minutes of betting time remaining.
I had to go with the favourite as well, number 4, Joyful Union. I thought he paraded really nicely. He's a lovely sort of neatly put together type, and you've got Zach on board. He is better drawn here tonight as well, so I thought he'd go well. The 11 goes in, Strathclyde. I made him a long shot for the evening. His long shot odds still at this stage. Sometimes they do come in, but he's remained at those odds, and he looks really well. He's a lovely, big, scopy type. I thought the 10 paraded nicely too. Navas, he's up in grade, so it's tougher, and he's awkwardly drawn, so he'll need a bit to go right, but it looks as well as I've seen him for a while. And then the 12, I thought, paraded nicely too. Noble Delight, he looks in pretty good order. He's a fit horse. He's a lightly framed horse, but as relaxed as he could possibly be. So 4, 11, 10 and 12.
all right, 60 seconds away from a jump. Market's yet to show any big moves, Paul, but before we get to that, how do we play it?
QQPs, I thought 2, 4, 12. Handsome Rebel to add the value with the 2 favourites, Joyful Union and Noble Delight. 350 Joyful Union, 350 Noble Delight. Money coming for Forza Angel. He's now into 16. But looking at the other ones in the market, Strathclyde's come into 11. He's been well backed. Fearless Fire's on the drift to 5.3. Handsome Rebel steady there at 10. But money coming for the 3 Forza Angel. He's been backed in Quinellas as well. And there's some big Quinellas also going through Handsome Rebel.
Yeah, Blinker's first time Forza Angel tonight, and also the 7-pound claimer going on too, so it's going to be some more additional speed going into the race with him. You would think. There's the trackside play, 2, 4 and 12, the QQP.
Yep, 2, 4 and 12 are the ones we like, which is Handsome Rebel with the 2 favourites. Jenny's Long Shot being backed there, Strathclyde into 10, and Forza Angel there at 16 as well.
All right, not too far away from us. Started 2 more to come after this 6th event. Good races as well. Race number 7, a Class 2 over the 1,000 metres. Music Edition back and back in trip as well. Soul Suspicion unbeaten, course and distance 2 from 2. We finish off over the 1650 with a Class 3 contest. Lots of last start winners in there. Some Street Somewhere, Arcada, Lucky Girl, and we see the debut of Cassida Forcer as well for Tony Cruz and Regan Bayliss. So a good couple of races still to come. Tom, as they move forward, Joyful Union is our favourite. Just all the money, though, for Strathclyde.
Thanks, Andrew. Yes, 8.50 now, Strathclyde. Bit of a hit there on Forza Angel. 16's a hit for the place around Fearless Fire, 1.9, who has been given a good warm-up by Karis Teaton just in front of the starting gates a short time ago. So 3.7 here around Joyful Union. He's the race favourite. This here is the Nam Long Shan handicap, 1,200 metres, Class 3. As the last couple are about to come in, Navis comes up. Beauty Loyal comes about to come forward to complete the line. Happy Win-Win stands well, gate 1. And we're ready to go. Starter looks over the field. Ready. Racing, and away they go to a perfect line. Noble Delight was first away. Forza Angel up on the pace. Joyful Union right there. Elite Patches driving through between runners. Strathclyde round the outside, and Supreme Patrol just in behind the speed. Then came Mighty Power, who's caught 3 wide. 2.5 Fearless Fire, Happy Win-Win down on the rail. Handsome Rebel 1.5 away, Navis, and 2.5 Last Beauty Loyal back at the end of the field as they top the rise. Up front, Forza Ranger with Strathclyde, margin 3/4. Then came Mighty Power, who's doing it tough, 3 wide. Around Elite Patch and Noble Delight down on the rail. Joyful Union from Supreme Patrol, Fearless Fire on the outside of Happy Win-Win. Handsome Rebel, Navis, and last is Beauty Loyal as they come inside the 350. Forza Angel turns in first. Over, out wider, Elite Patch, Strathclyde, Noble Delight up the rail. Followed in turn by Joyful Union. Fearless Fire coming home with a big run out wider for Teaton. They're across the track here. Joyful Union's got out now. Over Noble Delight, Fearless Fire, Happy Win-Win, Forza Angel, but Joyful Union too good on Fearless Fire, Noble Delight and Happy Win-Win. Navis close up behind them. Handsome Rebel getting home late. Forza Angel, Elite Patch, Strathclyde. Beauty Loyal beat home Mighty Power, who was deep throughout. Supreme Patrol, he was one of the last ones. Zach Purton, Joyful Union. Andrew Lejeune's best bet tonight gets home. The 4-year-old by Tauke, formerly known as Boss in New Zealand, gets the job done here. Benno Jung goes to 16 winners for the season. Zach Purton is well and truly into the 90s now for the season in terms of wins, and the favourite strikes here, Joyful Union. In fact, he closed off second favourite. He was at 4.2, 1.8. Noble Delight went favourite. There was a hit on Strathclyde as well. He went brown on a win line. 4, 7, 12 and 8, 109.7 for its inside standard, 110 even. Joyful Union, a maiden no longer here in Hong Kong at start 3, win 1. Racing, and away they go to a perfect line. Noble Delight was first away. Forza Angel up on the pace. Joyful Union right there. Elite Patches driving through between runners. Strathclyde round the outside, and Supreme Patrol just in behind the speed. Then came Mighty Power, who's caught 3 wide. 2.5 Fearless Fire, Happy Win-Win down on the rail. Handsome Rebel 1.5 away, Navis, and 2.5 Last Beauty Loyal back at the end of the field as they top the rise. Up front, Forza Ranger with Strathclyde. Strathclyde, margin 3/4. Then came Mighty Power, who's doing it tough 3 wide. Around Elite Patch and Noble Delight down on the rail. Joyful Union from Supreme Patrol. Fearless Fire on the outside of Happy Win-Win. Handsome Rebel, Navis, and last is Beauty Loyal as they come inside the 350. Forza Angel turns in first. Over, out wider Elite Patch, Strathclyde, Noble Delight up the rail. Followed in turn by Joyful Union. Fearless Fire coming home with a big run out wider for Teton. They're across the track here. Joyful Union's got out now. Over Noble Delight, Fearless Fire, Happy Win-Win, Forza Angel, but Joyful Union too good on Fearless Fire.
He's a nice horse, this one, Joyful Union. 1 1/4 the margins. Wasn't the hardest run though. Neck between second and third, 109.74 the time. Inside a standard. The price drifted out to 42 in the end.
Yeah, well, there was a stack of money late for a couple. Strathclyde came right into 6.3, and there was money for 1 or 2 others as well, and he did budge out. Almost equal favourites, actually, Noble Delight and Joyful Union. They both drifted out. $42.18, $17.50 for Fearless Fire, and $15.50 for Noble Delight. The Quinella 142.50, the Trio 103, and the Tierce 633. QP on 4 and 7, 53.50, 4 and 12, 29.50, 7 and 12, 41.50, 19.74, well inside a standard, but that's been the trend of the night. A length and a quarter a neck, and a very easy win in the end to this 4-year-old Chestnut by Tauke, Jenny, Joyful Union.
Yeah, look, he doesn't do much wrong, does he? From gate number 2, he jumped pretty well. I mean, obviously, Noble Delight just flew out of the gates and was in front of him, but in doing so, he ended up getting a nice run on the fence there, off the pace, and just bided his time, just had to wait for a run, and that did come his way. Went on with the job nicely. That's only his 3rd race start, this horse. He's a 4-year-old, and I thought he did it in pretty good style as well, so good effort.
Certainly was. Off a mark of 72 here tonight. So 8 would put him on the cusp, wouldn't it, of Class 2? But he looks, Paul, like he's, Jenny was saying, he does everything right. He might have quite a nice future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, I liked him on day one. He went out favourite on debut here, and I really liked him that day. And he ran okay. The second start was, he ran really well, and now he's... Well,
did you best bet him first start?
Yeah,
you did, and I think Tom best betted him last start, and Andrew's walked up
jumped
tonight. He's going to best betted him, and he's got the cash.
He was called Boss in New Zealand, and he won a really nice race at Trentham when he was there, and he's also, he won at Trentham, and he also won a race at Hara, and both races were really good.
You can see draw 2, Noble Delight away quickly. There was pressure from Forza Angel. Out wide, Handsome Rebel from the wide barrier snagged back. Forza Angel, Strathclyde rolled forward. There was a heap of money for him. He sat outside of Forza Angel. Noble Delight alongside of Elite Patch when they settled. You can see Joyful Union alongside of Supreme Patrol. The newcomer Mighty Power got caught deep and actually ran off the track a little bit there. Beauty Loyal copping a taste of the Persuader out back.
Yeah, he's struggling, isn't he, at this stage? But the winner, Pink Cap, travels very strongly there in behind. And again, it's just a case of, you know, when does the gap open into the straight? He's tracking Noble Delight at this stage. He'd be reasonably confident, Zach, that Noble Delight's going to... Now, as they swing into the straight, all opens up perfectly.
Yeah, there was a lot of all-up support for him. Actually hit the lead there momentarily, I reckon. And then Joyful Union came through underneath him. Noble Delight battled on away well, but the winner, the further they went, the further he was getting in front.
Joyful Union wins. They have weighed in on race number 6, 4, 7, 12 and 8. The time inside a standard once more. QPs 4 and 7, 53.50, 4 and 12, 29.50, 7 and 12, 41.50. As far as the composite win was concerned, overnight favourites here, $21, 4 and 12. They actually ran first and third, but Joyful Union just a bit too good. First 4 of 4, 7, 8 and 12, 1,023. Any order those numbers. If you had the quartet, which was 4, 7, 12 and 8, $18,517. 8 running fourth was Happy Win-Win. Double on races 5 and 6, the 2 winners, which was a pair of 4s. Zach Purton double as well. Helene Charisma to Joyful Union 69. Consolation 27.50 with Fearless Fire running second. Triple Trio goes off to the tune of $323,566. 149, 249, 4, 7 and 12. The consolation, if you had the first two legs, $3,650. And the sectional times, 23.59, standard 23.7, 22.7, standard is 22.9, and then 23.45, standard is 23.4. 109.74, standard for the class is 110 flat. Race number 7, 20 minutes out. Zach Purton on the favourite again, and as a result of riding the last two winners, Little Bird has come up as odds on. Points.
Baltic Whisper and the Fabulous One have got the pace, but I think Moment of Power of the three is probably the faster one, and I can see him going straight to the front. Moment of Power and Little Bird should get a nice run just in behind with Music Edition.
All right. Well, speaking of Moment of Power, let's hear from the trainer, Paul O'Sullivan.
Paul, Moment of Power, Class 2, might have stretched him in the past, but with a good draw and a lightweight, does he come into it on Wednesday night?
Yeah, Class 2's always proven a little bit beyond him, but, you know, if he's ever going to put his hand up in the grade, it's going to be tomorrow night. You know, he's going to have, let's say he's got a good draw, the 1,000 metres, that's as far as he wants to run around the valley. So, you know, if he can sort of get to the lead and get left alone a little bit, you know, he'd be in there with a shout.
He's had a trial since his last run. Are you happy with his condition going into the race?
Yeah, very much so. He's been racing, you know, pretty consistently, but he's just got to get that 1,000 metres around the valley. Now, whether he has to come back to Class 3 to get it, I think tomorrow night will tell.
All right, that is Paul O'Sullivan on Moment of Power, and the O'Sullivan stable running to a bit of form as well. We can see the Little Bird all up here, in effect.
Yeah, it is. Super Turbo's 11 out into 10, though. He's come in. Soul Special 5.9 out to 7.5. Music Edition out to 9.3. Big Time Baby out to 92. Baltic Whisper, he's 9.3 out to 12. Little Bird into 1.7. Moment of Power's out to 13. 54 about California Archer. 35 about Fabulous One. Starlight 40. 60 Breeders' Star 40. Happy Family.
There you go. That's the all-up market. All the action around Little Bird, a result of Zach riding those last two winners in the final event as well. Zach rides Good Beauty for John Moore, not without a chance either. So taking him a few races to warm up, but he's won the last two. All of the results and the replays available at hkjc.com. Also follow the Jockey Club on Twitter as well, HKJC_racing, to keep up to date and all the news. Replays, they'll post the closing stages of tonight's races as well up on social media, and anything happening throughout the course of the afternoon is all there on the Twitter account also.
This is the shortest price favourite of the night now, Little Bird.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd imagine he'd get out a little bit, though, won't he? I mean, he should get back into black. I mean, money back a place at this stage. Yeah. Yes, he was impressive last time, but this is his first time in Class 3 now, so I still think he's got a bit of work to do. But there was a lot to like about that last win. Yeah,
it was a really good win, actually, but he did have his own way in front, and I think that was the key for him. He's not going to get that in this race for sure, because there's so much pace in it. A lot of it's probably to do with Zach Purton and of course, Zach riding the last couple of winners. So the all-ups have gone into him.
What about a horse like Starlight, 38 and 6.1? Now, in all his winning form has been over the 1,200 metres. This is the first time he's tackled Happy Valley's 1,000, in actual fact. But he's a 7-time winner here at the track. If the speed is on, he's a big closer. That's a big price.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a very big price at 38 and 6, especially if they do overcook it in front. And we know he loves the course here, so he'll be one of the ones finishing on for sure.
Yeah, he's a big price, but it can all change in the last few minutes. Jenny, as we saw with your long shot in the previous, it got hammered late again.
Yeah, he did, but he went pretty ordinarily, so he wasn't able to go on with the job, was he? But I thought the winner got to the line nicely, and well done. You had him as your best bet.
Yeah, well, I was quite surprised. The price he was, to be perfectly honest. I thought he was going to be quite short on the back of that last run. I thought it was a massive effort, but we can't control the prices.
I think it's an interesting race coming up here with so much pace in the race, as Paul was alluding to there. We're going to get a lot of horses that do like to go out there and lead, so there's going to be a lot of pace. It might just set it up for the closers.
Yep, we will find out. But Saul Special, Jenny, we'll start with him. He's had 2 visits to Happy Valley for the 1,000 metres. He's won them both.
He has. Now he walks in nice and free in his walking action. He's a very fit-looking horse. He weighs in 1,109 pounds. He doesn't look that heavy when you get up close to him, but I think that's as good as he can present, actually. He looks in pretty good condition, so he's fit and very relaxed and free in his action, so he's good.
7.4 and 2.1 currently for Saul Special. And you can see he's looking good here this morning, or this afternoon even this evening.
Well, it might be morning somewhere where someone's watching.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. In UK, would it be? No, lunchtime.
No, not quite, no.
Anyway, Saul Special, 7.4, 2.1. And look, he comes to the race. He's definitely going to get his chance. He'll sit behind the pace. The more pace, the better for this horse, though. Jenny, number 1, Super Turbo.
Yeah, Super Turbo. Now, he's a 6-year-old entire, this guy, so he looks in pretty good order. He's only a small horse, and you wouldn't know it. He looks more like a gelding, but he looks in really good health. He's got a really nice dappled coat on him at the moment, walking out well by his standards, just swishing his tail a little bit, but behaviour is good, and that's as good as he can look. So I would expect him to finish off very strongly here.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. He's probably a bit strong behind Flat Heaven last time. He was only beaten half a length, but it was a good effort all the same. Yeah, and he's another one, much like Starlight, who'll be flashing home late on. 10 and 2.7. He's a fair bit shorter than Starlight is at this stage, but he's another horse who's a multiple winner here at the track. 4 wins he's had here at Happy Valley. Music Edition also coming out of that Flat Heaven race. Jenny, I thought he was a little bit disappointing, really, after putting 2 really good wins on the board.
Well, he was, but he did pull up with a lameness issue, so we can give him a little excuse for that. There's no bandages or anything on him. He's a very strong-bodied horse all over, particularly in those hindquarters. Walking out well and does look fit. So, yeah, looks strong and healthy. Maybe he can bounce back. I don't think he looks bad. I thought his trial was pretty basic, though, but he doesn't look bad.
Yeah, he did win twice here before. His last start where he did finish behind the Flat Heaven. He did have a hard run on that occasion as well. So he should sit him behind, barrier number 5 for the 3 Music Edition. For the 4, the next one, Big Time Baby. Look, he's drawn wide here, and some of his better runs have been on the all-weather or down the straight.
They have. So gate 11's going to be awkward for him, I feel, and 1,000 metres as well. With those 2 wins on the all-weather being over the 1,200, it's probably a little on the sharp side for him, but he remains looking well. Nothing wrong with him. He's a very strong-bodied horse all over, and he's got a very good attitude too. Still walks out well, so nothing wrong with him if you do fancy him at very big odds. Gee, he's drifted right out in the market, hasn't he?
Huge, nearly 80 to 1, Big Time Baby. Alberta Rispoli rides him. He's a 2-time winner. Both those wins were on the all-weather, mind you, but over the 1,200 metres, but still a massive price. This is the 5, Baltic Whisper. It's been trialling very well. He's got a lot of speeds. Grant Van Nierke rides off the inside gate. He's going to be one of those up front. I
quite liked his trial as well. It was on the all-weather, of course, but he was able to lead, and he did that pretty well. But he's done that before, so I think from gate number 1, he's probably going to get a little bit of pressure here as well. Doesn't look bad, though. Behaviour is good. He's another strong-chested horse. He's not the smoothest of walkers in front, generally speaking, but and even behind, I suppose. So that's the only little negative. Everything else about him is good. You know, his strength's good. His fitness level's good.
11 and 3.1. If you do like the 5, Baltic Whisper, you can see him on the screen there at the moment. That is the 5, Baltic Whisper. Another pace influence. Has missed the start on a couple of occasions, though, so will want to get away quickly, but has trialled really well. And from barrier 1, he should get a nice run. Whatever happens, he just will get taken on, I think. 6, Little Bird is the next one, Jenny. He's the favourite. He's a last start winner and did win nicely, beating Dragon Pioneer.
Yep. Perhaps we should have the camera on Breeders' Star. He's about to do half a lap or 1 lap. We'll see what we get out of him. But the 6, Little Bird, looks in great order. He's a lovely horse. He's very strong all over, in all the right spots. And he's very alert. just a really nice individual, walks out well still, so and maintains his condition beautifully, so he's looking very well.
His first time in Class 2 company. Zach Purton on board. He's ridden him twice before Zach. He's won on both occasions. He's still our favourite, 1.8, and money back a place. That is Little Birds. To move from him to Moment of Power. We just heard from Paul O'Sullivan. He's a 6-time course and distance winner. Jenny will jump from barrier 3 with Victor Wong still taking £7 off.
Yeah, he's got great gate speed, this horse. So from gate 3 with 114 pounds, he's going to show a lot of speed, but he just might have some company. That's the only thing. There's a few that just like to do exactly the same sort of thing. Whether or not he just got enough gate speed to get out there and hold it on his own, he might. I think he looks terrific. Once again, he's a nice-natured horse. Looks in good health and condition. Still walks out well. So got to leave him there. His overall record at Happy Valley over the 1,000 metres here is 6 wins. So you've got to respect that.
He's double figure. I've just made him a long shot because I'll take the chance that he can, and he'll be a good price. The 8 California Archer's the next one. Barrier 7 for him. Alvin Ong aboard.
Yeah, look, another nice horse. He's only won the 1 in 12 attempts so far, but he still looks good. He was slow out last time, and he put himself out of business in that particular race. But I think, hopefully that was a one-off for him. He's very calm and relaxed here in the parade. Walking out okay, and look, he's a neat, fit horse, and I can't rule him out. I think he looks well.
Fabulous One, 5-time winner here in Hong Kong. He's all those wins have been over 1,200 metres, but gets the blinkers on for the first time at the ripe old age of 7.
Yes, well, he needs to do something, doesn't he? Because his recent racing has been a bit on the average side. He was pretty clever when he was younger, but we haven't seen much come from him for quite some time. And we know when he's on song, he's all about speed. Now, he's a really lovely individual. He's very strong. He maintains his looks. I'll give him that. Probably not as smooth as he once was in front, but he's still healthy and nice and relaxed here, so he's not bad.
And he's at 32 and 5.7, so big price there for Fabulous One. He's now with Richard Gibson these days, and the blinkers are going to go on him for the first time as well, so interesting to see how he does go with those blinkers. He's obviously had plenty of starts here, 33, so first time there with blinkers. The 10 Starlight, he'll get back, he'll be running on, he'll want a bit of pace, Jenny, and I think he'll get it.
He's going to get that for sure. And he looks really well. He's as consistent as they come. He's a 7-time winner as well. But they've all been over the 1,200 metres. So he will need that speed on. He's still smooth as in his walking action. So a lot to like about his attitude as well. Look, there's nothing wrong with him. He'll be running on strongly. I'd take a chance with him. He looks well again.
Yeah. Starlight didn't quite work him into the top 4, but at that sort of price, you'd take a second look, wouldn't you? 33 and 5.3. Horse that's won 7 times here at the track, albeit over the 1,200 metres. But barrier 12, he'll drop in, soak up the speed, and just how much ground he can make up on them in the closing stages, really, Starlight. But I think he's a definite each-way player there. Joe Moreira on board here for Dennis Yip this evening. This is the 12 Happy Family. Tongue Tie goes on for the first time at start number 3. He was also coming out of that Flat Heaven race last time out, beaten 4.5.
Look, he's a horse that had UK form prior to coming here. He ran second in the 2-year-old Coventry Stakes at Ascot and arrived on a rating of 85. He's down to 83 after a couple of runs. And to look at, he's only a small horse, and he does still carry a little bit of weight around the midsection there. So he's very quiet, I will give him that, and he does walk out fluently. So I don't want to rule him out completely, but he's just still carrying a touch of condition. So I'm happy to go with a few others, I think. 36 and 6:30. Breeders' Star, you mentioned earlier, Jenny. Did you get a chance to see him in that 1.5 laps? I just got a quick glimpse of him, and he stirred up a few of them just momentarily, and they got him out of here. So, look, he does that all the time, and he looks well. He can bob up every now and again. He's a last start winner. He's never too far away. Another one that will require speed, should be finishing off well, and he looks pretty much the same as he often does. Just gets in here, does a quick lap. He's strong. He's well. Matthew Chadwick rides for David Ferraris. He goes back up in class after that last start win. 5 starts in this grade previously without success. Those are the 12 runners then, because we're back to Super Turbo, who already seen. So I'll
Jenny puts the top 4 together. Paul, let's have a look at the market.
1.8 about Little Bird, still the clear favourite at this stage. 7.3 Soul Special, 8.1 about Music Edition, then 11 about Baltic Whisper, 11 about Moment of Power as well, 10 Super Turbo, he's right in there in the betting at this stage, and then out to 31 about Starlight, 32 Fabulous One.
Here we go then, Jenny, for race number 7. Little Bird, I was expecting him to get out to 2 and beyond, but he's holding on to that odds-on price at the moment. How's he line up for you?
Well, I'm going to have to put him on top, and you're not going to get any value about him, obviously, with those roll-ups and Zach on board here. But he's such a lovely horse. He's impossible to go past, really. He's got really good strength everywhere. Attitude's good. Looked in great order. So I've got him on top. Little Bird, number 6. From number 10, Starlight. Nothing wrong with him. He looks in great order. Lovely, relaxed horse who loves this circuit, albeit over a little bit further. But should be running on strongly at the end. He never really disgraces. He's pretty genuine, so him at those sort of odds is small, but another one that'll be running on and appreciate the speed here as well. Looks as well as he can. He's very fit and fluent, so he goes in 6, 10, 7 and 1.
All right, 6, 10, 7 as 1 as they make their way down to the start. Little Bird comes out on top, Tom, as far as the paddock's concerned. He's still pretty short, though. Where does he fit in for you?
Little Bird, I've got him in for a 4th here, Andrew. The last start winner here over course and distance with Zach Purton on board for Ricky Yu. 3, 1, 5, 6 my numbers here, but there's a whole stack of pace in this race, and I think there's plenty of ways it certainly can pan out. I thought Little Bird was short. Happy to go with Music Edition here at a quote of 8 and 250. Had an issue last time out, returned lame. It was an unacceptable performance deemed by the stewards there from the 4-year-old by Your Song. Set up outside the leader and then weakened out of it over the concluding stages. That was the race that was won by Flat Heaven. But you go back to runs 2 and 3 start to go. They were very good. Interesting dropping back to 1,000 metres here, but I'll take the chance at 8 and 250. Super Turbo, I think, can be a player here. Chased home Flat Heaven last time out and was only beaten half a length. I thought it was a really good effort from Super Turbo. Vincent Ho, David Hall teaming up. Another one that's stepping back to 1,000 metres. Has tried it a couple of times, but not here at Happy Valley. Super Turbo. Baltic Whisper, interesting to see what he does here from gate number 1. His trials have been superb. Baltic Whisper, he has won both of those pretty nicely. He has been able to win over the distance, but again, not here at Happy Valley. And Little Bird, my next best, I thought won well, led from the get-go. Had to do a little bit of work early, but was able to sustain it late in the race. So my numbers 3, 1, 5 and 6, Paul.
Put 7 on top, Moment of Power. I think he can lead all the way. He's a 6-time winner over this course and distance, and at 10 to 1, I think he's a good each-way bet. From the 3, Music Edition should sit in just behind. Then Little Bird, the favourite. Another one that will sit in behind should get a nice run. And Super Turbo, of all his pace on, he'll be the one running on late. 7, 3, 6, 1, made 7 the each-way bet. Yeah,
I can see where you're coming from, Paul. I went Little Bird. I didn't think he'd be odds on, but I do think he's a very nice horse, and I think he's well up to this Class 2 contest. Will soak up the speeds right in behind, and a bit like Joyful Uni maybe in the previous. Pounce down the straight. He goes on top. There's 6. Super Turbo will stay on strongly. Soul Special, you can't ignore that record. 2 from, much like Paul, I think he's a place chance as well, but Starlight at those sort of odds is quite interesting as well, Brett. 29 and 4.4, but that horse on screen they want to be.
Well, yeah, he probably is. This is a good race, though. This is a really good race. I don't know whether any of these runners are worth $1.90 quote, to be honest. I went 5, 3, 1, 2. I didn't even put Little Bird in the top 4. But he could well win it. I've got Baltic Whisper. He's a horse I've had a go at in the tips on numerous occasions, and he's disappointed me. Again, he's gone back to the trials and blasted down the home straight at Sha Tin in very quick time. He's broken a minute over the 1,050 on the all-weather. So again, he's flying in the morning, but he hasn't been able to bring it to the racetrack so far for a long time. I'm going to take one final chance with him. I was on Music Edition last start. I thought they were too aggressive early, but he was in fine form prior to that. The run on is Super Turbo. Although it's 1,000, he loves the track. And Soul Special is unbeaten course and distance. So I wanted to include him, 5-3-1-2. But there are others you can make a case for. And no doubt many are. Starlight, as you say, California Archer's been in reasonable form. Moment of Power, Paul's made a choice for him. But 6 is the on top from the paddock. Jenny suggests he's looking a treat.
Oh, look, he's a lovely horse, Brett, so it's hard to go past him. He's just a big, strong-bodied horse, sensible attitude, good walk on him as well, so he just looked really well. I have to have him on top. I know he's not a lot of value, but looks good. So 6 from number 10 for me, Starlight. I thought he paraded beautifully as per usual, real sensible type. 6-time winner over the 1,200, so 1,000 metres is sharp, but I would expect him to be running on very strongly. The 7, Moment of Power, another speed horse in the race from gate 3 with the lightweight. I think he'll still give a good sight. And the 1, Super Turbo, another finisher. So 2 speed horses and 2 run-ons here for me. 6, 10, 7 and 1.
All right, here we go. Right on start time then, Paul. Odds on shots. How do we play it?
Like the 7, Moment of Power. Thought he was a good each-way bet here. So at 11 and 2.6. Music Edition's coming in for some late support, though. He's into 6.4. The 9, 11 have been backed in Quinella's Fabulous One and Breeders' Star at big prices. And also the 3, Music Edition, as he comes into 6.4.
We saw him lead last start, Little Bird, but he was pushed hard to do it. There's a lot more pace in this race. I'm not convinced that he can lead. I know he'll get pushed along, but I still don't know if he can match the pace of some of the other horses in the initial stages. If he gets 3 back the fence and he can't get into his action and his full stride, that was what worried me a little bit about him coming up into this grade. On the time he recorded last start, 56.73, he probably beats most of these, but that's out on the speed, running fluently, as opposed to potentially being in the pack and having to weave a run between horses. That was my little concern with him, but he's obviously a decent enough horse. He's won quite a few here at the Valley now. He's built up a nice record here at the Valley. Initially it was at Sha Tin.
Running quick times tonight as well. The track record, if you want to watch the clock, is Sweet Sonette. 56.3, the time recorded back in 2010.
Yep, I think so.
Well, that's good, didn't he?
She did. I think David Ferraris.
Gary Young.
Gary Young.
Down in the book for this particular race.
Yeah, you're right.
Greg Sheen in the saddle. So
Greg Sheen, of course.
The class record is My Name is Bond, just 2 100ths behind that, 56.32. So the times have been slick this evening.
Yep.
Favourite even money, Paul?
Yeah, out to the even money now. All the money coming late for Music Edition now into 5. Clear second favourite, and then we're looking at 8 about Soul Special, 11 Super Turbo, then 12 about Baltic Whisper, and also Moment of Power.
Here we go then. Light flashes for the second last 1,000-metre dash. All about speed here, Tom. Little Bird, our favourite.
Thanks, Andrew, and there will be plenty of speed here as we load the runners away for race number 7 on the programme. Flip of the coin odds here about Little Bird, who's at 2 and 120. Music Edition's coming for plenty of support. Has come from around about 870 odd into 490 now for Music Edition, Matthew Poon. 790 Soul Special, who's 2 for 2 course and distance. Next best, you're looking at around 3 horses at 12s. They are Super Turbo. Baltic Whisper now to 13s, 12s for Moment of Power. Happy Family coming up. Breeders' Star moving in over there for the Pottinger Peak Handicap, 1,000 metres, our 7th race here tonight. California Archer will be one of the last ones, still 2 and 110 about Little Bird. Sprinters are ready, 1,000 metres, they're racing, away they go. Music Edition a little bit slow, Moment of Power, Little Bird, Soul Special the first 3. California Archer barrelling through between runners deeper, Big Time Baby, and down on the rail is Baltic Whisper from Fabulous One. Music Edition has recovered to be about midfield, 1 off. Then came Happy Family over on the rail, Super Turbo, Starlight, Breeders' Star, the last of them. As they tear down the side towards the 500 metres, leader is Moment of Power, leading 3/4 on Little Bird, California Archer. Next on the rail is Baltic Whisper, Music Edition hunting them, followed by Fabulous One. Behind those runners came Happy Family, and further out is Soul Special with Super Turbo, Moment of Power, Little Bird, California Archer. Fabulous One, Music Edition behind them. Baltic Whisper finishing off nicely. Moment of Power, Little Bird. Fabulous One out deeper. Moment of Power holding them at bay. Too many guns blazing, and he wins over Little Bird. Third, we've got a decent old lineup. Baltic Whisper there with Music Edition, California Archer, Fabulous One, Super Turbo, Breeders' Star. Not necessarily in that order. Happy Family followed by Starlight, Big Time Baby and Soul Special, the last of them. Moment of Power, Victor Wong, Paul O'Sullivan, a double tonight for Victor. So with 32 winners for Victor, 12 for Paul, off the back of what was an impressive winner on Sunday at Sha Tin with Band of Brothers. Moment of Power racks up his 7th win, course and distance. Now 7 from 30, so he's been a good old stick, has Moment of Power, the 6-year-old. And he's fought on doggedly here for Victor Wong. It's 7.6, the time 56.79. So it's outside standard here. 56.70 is standard. It's 7.6 of photo. There are a cast of thousands there for third, but here's the replay of Moment of Power. They go Music Edition a little bit slow, Moment of Power, Little Bird, Soul Special the first 3, California Archer barreling through between runners deeper, Big Time Baby, and down on the rail is Baltic Whisper from Fabulous One. Music Edition has recovered to be about midfield, 1 off. Then came Happy Family over on the rail, Super Turbo, Starlight, Breeders' Star, the last of them. As they tear down the side towards the 500 metres, leader is Moment of Power, leading 3/4 on Little Bird, California Archer. Next on the rail is Baltic Whisper, Music Edition hunting them, followed by Fabulous One. Behind those runners came Happy Family, and further out is Soul Special with Super Turbo, Moment of Power, Little Bird, California Archer, Fabulous One, Music Edition behind them, Baltic Whisper finishing off nicely, Moment of Power, Little Bird, Fabulous One out deeper, Moment of Power holding them at bay, too many guns blazing, and he wins over Little.
All right, 7.69's got third. Fabulous One ahead of number 5, Baltic Whisper. So 7.695.
Wow, there you go. 1 1/4 by 3/4. 56.79 the time recorded. Still waiting for those dividends to come through, but a big win here for Victor Wong. A double on the night.
45 winners in total.
Which means he now only claims £5 from here on in.
He'll, has he got a ride in the last, actually? We'll just have to check.
No, that was it.
That was it? Okay, so yes, it's all worked out perfectly timing-wise, because he'll go into the meeting on Sunday with just the £5 allowable now. And another good night. Well done to Paul Lally. That was his long shot. A lengthened 1/4 by 3/4. Moment of Power has always been the front-running type, but the class had been the issue. But the £7 for Victor Wong, who is riding with a great deal of confidence, has got the prize at $110 in the end.
$29 a place, 6 runs second. That's the favourite Little Bird. It's $12, 9 in third. Fabulous One, and 5 Baltic Whisper runs fourth. Quinella 6 and 7, 99. Trio 6, 7 and 9, 1,008 in the tier. 7, 6 and 9, $6,057. 1 1/4 by 3/4 in 56.79. Jenny, we talked about all the pace throughout the race. It was pretty much on standard time throughout, and in fact they've run a 10th outside of standard in the end. Victor's done a perfect job out in front.
He has, he certainly has, and well done to Paul with the long shot getting up there at really good odds as well. For a horse that likes to go out there and be on the pace with that lightweight, he's done a very good job. I thought the run of Fabulous One was really quite good. A bit of finding himself again here with those blinkers being applied for the first time. He wanted to lay in a little bit, but at least he was able to finish off here today, and that's the best we've seen from him for quite some time.
Yeah, he's generally a front runner himself, isn't he, Fabulous One? So he's hit the line well. He's just nabbed Baltic Whisper, who at least went better tonight. He brought some of that good trial form to the track. He's picked up 4th, 7.695. Music Edition wasn't far away, but he did bomb the start and then was bustled along. There have been some good runs in the race, but none better than the one by Moment of Power. Paul O'Sullivan has been hitting the frame quite regularly. Lady suggested that the second half of the season would be better for him and his team, and that's the way it's unfolding at the moment.
I think he's had a winner at his last maybe 3 or 4 meetings.
Yes.
Victor's just done, what, £114 there. The size of the saddle, he's got a weight cloth as well. 114.
Yeah, I wonder what his secret is.
Well played, Paul.
Yeah, no, it was good. He just went to the front, didn't he? And he dictated nicely, so... Yeah, good win.
Well, the key was crossing those 2 underneath him initially, and then to his credit, Little Bird got out well. He got outside of the leader and had every chance, but he just couldn't match the final stages with Moment of Power with that claim, but he ran well in defeat. Fabulous One closing in just ahead of Baltic Whisper. 46,213 that quartet. 7, 6, 9 and 5. Have all the official dividends shortly. Here's the patrol.
All right, from the gates then. And it was barrier number 3 is where the winner comes from. Little Bird jostling is outside, and barrier 4 in the pink jacket. We expected more speeds from Baltic Whisper and possibly Fabulous One as well, but Moment of Power in the end finds the front in 12.60, which is pretty much on standard. Little Bird, the favourite, just on his outside.
Yeah, well, he was able to cross those two to his inside quite quickly, and then didn't receive the pressure I thought Fabulous One might apply, and even potentially Little Bird. Zach was just happy to sit outside, and Baltic Whisper did hand up from 1, so that was to the winner and a leader's favourite. Or favouritism at this time, and he just kicked strongly here with the 7-pound claim.
Yeah, Baltic Whisper down to the inside. Happy Family in the blue jacket. It's a better effort for him. Music Edition trying to make up some ground. Fabulous One actually does stay on, as does the grey Super Turbo. Big Time Baby out wide, but Moment of Power wasn't headed from the moment they got out of the gates here. Little Bird stays on for second place, and Breeder Star makes up some late ground as well. 56.79 the time.
Yeah, there's correct weight. Weight is right. Yeah, that time is actually just outside of standard on a good to firm track tonight. So a sit and dash in a 1,000-metre event, by the looks of it, if you can have one. 39.50, 6, 7, 7, 9, 346 and 142 on 6 and 9. 35.50 composite win overnight mid prices. And the first 4, 1,767. If you got those in the right order. 46,213. Right, we need to check some other exotics. The double 4 into 7, 390. 4 into 6, 1450. And the double trio. First leg was skinny. Second leg paid 1,000. The trio. Combining those two together, 15,277. 4, 7, 12, 6, 7, 9. 12, 6, 21, 4, 22, 7. 56.79 outside of standard by a tenth in race 7 of the night.
All right, heading into the final race of the night, Arcada has come up favourite here. Cassida Forza, their first start, has been up at Chung for as well as last start to win a Lucky Girl, and Thunderstomp as well. As we check out the speed map here, Paul, which should be reasonable.
Yeah, Thunderstomp and the newcomer Cassida Forza looks like he can go forward. Pink High Treasure won't be far away. Some Street Somewhere should get a nice run. Arcada there back should get a really nice run as well. Last Kingdom. Paul O'Sullivan going for a quick double. He ran well at his last start. Star Majestic, another Paul O'Sullivan run of blinkers on. He needs to slot in somewhere.
Speaking of Paul O'Sullivan, let's hear from the man himself talking about Last Kingdom and Star Majestic. He's chatting with Edward Sadler.
Last Kingdom, Paul, backs up from last week. Is he starting to find a bit of form?
Yes, last run was very good, sort of on the speed, and he tried hard. But I think he's the sort of horse that will back up very well. He's quite although he's not a big horse, he's quite a bully horse, and but he strikes a field that's a little bit stronger than last time.
He's a horse who had good form from France prior to coming over here. Is he the type you think that's just taken a little while to acclimatise?
Well, again, that question would be answered tomorrow night, but I think a lot of his French form was in wet ground, and we know we just don't get that here, but as we come into summer, he just might strike it one evening.
And with him as well too, he's still an anti. What's he like for you to handle?
No, he's very good, very good. So he's got no girlfriends in Hong Kong, so he's well behaved.
What about Star Majestic? Bleeker's going on for the first time for a couple of years. Can that spark a return to form?
Yeah, hopefully it can, and we're just hoping for a good speed. And if they run every now and again, they run them crazy up front, and that would give them a chance. So I don't think the draw's any drawback. He's going to go back anyway, but hopefully the blinkers will just spark him up a bit.
There he is, the man of the moment, Paul. Paul O'Sullivan going well, isn't he?
He is. He's going really well at the moment. He's at a good back end of the season. Star Majestic, 35 out to 52. Some Street Somewhere out to 16. Good Beauty's out to 7. Akata 2.8 into 2.4. Casa de Force on debut 55. Lucky Girl 61. Racing Luck 6.2. Magnetism 33. Thunderstomp 21. Amazing Chocolate at 13. Last Kingdom at 11. And Pinghai Treasure 5.5 out to 7.2.
All right, so 21 minutes away for the final race tonight. HKJC.com for all the information. Just a reminder, we are covering 7 races from Dubai on Saturday evening. Edward Sadler and Graham Cunningham will take you through that simulcast of the Dubai World Cup program. Hong Kong with 4 representatives: Gold Mount, Wishful Thinker, Fight Hero and Southern Legend. First race 8:50 p.m. Hong Kong time. The World Cup is the last race at 12:40 a.m. On Sunday we've got another race coming through from Japan as well, the Osaka High, which is another decent lead up towards the FWD series here in Hong Kong in late April. So we'll watch with interest that race, as we did the Takamatsu Namiya last weekend from Japan. And of course, coming up this weekend as well, Jenny, we have a new apprentice starting. Timing's perfect too, really, with Victor Wong's claim being reduced tonight down to 5 after he rode his 45th winner in the previous. Alfred Chan starts his riding career in Hong Kong on Sunday.
Well, it's an exciting time for the young boy, isn't it? And he's done plenty of background work overseas, so we wish him all the best.
Yeah, similar path to Matthew Poon, actually. He's 24. He rode in New Zealand and rode 49 winners there. Mike McCann in New Zealand and Alan Sharrock.
Yep.
And then went to Lloyd Kennelwell in South Australia and rode 51 winners there.
Mike McCann down south and in the South Island, and Alan Sharrock in Taranaki.
Yeah, and a lot of the riders actually take that trail and go to New Zealand and then spend some time in Australia. Matthew Poon, similar. Rode a number of winners in Adelaide before heading to Hong Kong, and he's taken all before him. I think Matthew Poon, he's gone ahead in leaps and bounds and riding well now, even with just a small claim. So we wish Alfred all the best. He was introduced to the media in Hong Kong about a week ago now, and no doubt he'll be feeling a few butterflies in the stomach perhaps as he heads towards Sunday, but we wish him all the best. And he's indentured, of course, to Frankie Law, so he's in good hands. Some street somewhere, Jenny, a last start winner. There's a number in this race. You're getting 15 to 1 about him at the moment.
Yep, well, gate number 1 for him as well. He's got to carry the big weight, 132 pounds. He weighs in at 1,052. But, you know, he's a plain enough horse, but he actually looks pretty well for him. He looks nice and healthy in his coat, and he's quite smooth in his walking action as well for him. So I've got to leave him there with some chance at those sort of odds. I think he looks quite well.
It's the 2 Some Street Somewhere.
He's a bit of an over at that price, you think?
I think he is, yeah. I've got him in for second, actually. I didn't think he'd be paying that much.
No.
He did win last time. He's sort of settled in here now. Seems to like Happy Valley and should get a nice run from barrier 1.
Yeah, the only thing is he's got 13 pound more to carry, but yeah, it's the same scenario outside of that situation.
He was a Group 1 winner in New Zealand before he got here.
Martin Harley taking the ride. Gate 1, he was drawn barrier 1 last start when he defeated Ha Ha Heart. Speaking of 1, we heard from Paul O'Sullivan discussing his pair of runners. Here's Star Majestic, who you've seen plenty of times, Jenny, start 58.
I have, and he's a 7-time winner over the 1650 here at the Valley, so we know he's capable, but his last couple of runs have been a bit on the average side, so I'm not sure if he can turn it around now. He is getting on a little bit. He's an 8-year-old, but he still looks good. He's still walking out nicely. He's got the 2 handlers on him. He's always pretty well behaved, and he is again here tonight, so he definitely looks well. I can't rule him out.
Interesting as well, they're putting blinkers back on, first time in over 2 years.
Yeah, I must say, I get the feeling it's been a little bit difficult to make ground from the back tonight. There's been 1 or 2 that have run on, but they have sort of struggled to get to the eventual winners that have been in front of them when they've cornered. So if that's the case for him and he goes back, that might make it tough. Good Beauty, drawn 4. He is a 1-time winner so far from 12. He's rarely beaten too far.
That's true. Now, he's only a small horse, Good Beauty, so he lacks a little bit of size, but he has got a bit of scope for a small horse, and he does look very healthy in his coat, walking out freely enough, attitude is good. So I think he's probably there with a chance. I think he's going well, but he's probably not an absolute standout by any means, because, as I said, he just lacks a little bit of height.
He's in the market as well, 7.1 and 2.2 currently for Good Beauty. Zach Purdon's had a pearler of a night, and he'll take the mount. Barrier number 4 for him, the 3 Good Beauty. And he is a winner here at Happy Valley from his 5 starts. Has been placed once before as well as the 3 Good Beauty. So he looks good, and just a nice, quiet piece of work for him. Nice walk around, I should say.
Which is a nice, quiet piece of work.
It is. The 4 Carter is the next one we're going to have a look at. He's the favourite. He's my bit of the night, Jenny. He's come up quite short at 2.3. Thought it was a strong win last time, though.
It was, and he was desperately unlucky at 2 starts ago as well, Carter. So he seems to be in pretty good form. Karras arrived from gate number 3. Looks like he's got a bit in his favour. Now, he's quite a barrelly type. He's a horse that always is going to carry a fair bit of condition around the midsection there. But he's got a very strong shoulder and chest on him. His attitude is good. So if you're seeing him for the first time, you might think he was in need of a run, but that's just him as a type. So I'm happy to ignore that. I think he looks pretty good.
Yeah, another one of these nice horses to come from Ireland. He won a maiden at the Curragh and then ran 3rd in a Group 2 at his next start. So made quick progress, then went to England and ran 3rd in another Group 2 before shipping to Hong Kong. Now the newcomer, Jenny, Casa de Forza, Regan Bayliss to ride, drawn barrier 9. What's your impression of him?
He needs a run, by the looks of him. He's got a really good attitude. He's very strong in the shoulder, chest, and just very casual attitude, but he just doesn't look fully tuned at this stage. So I'd be happy to watch and see what he can do.
55 and 10 currently as well for Casa de Forza. You can see him there on the screen. His tongue tie goes on debut. He's had 3 trials, 1196 pounds for this one. And he did race up to 1900 metres overseas before he did get here. Barrier 9, Regan Bayliss, as Jenny says. It's going to be a little bit tricky from there, isn't it?
Yeah, he won at Nottingham and then he won at Kempton on the poly track under the title of Ombre Casado before heading from the UK to Hong Kong. So I'll be interested to see what he can do on debut. There's no real market support for him for his first start here. Lucky Girl, a last start winner. Lucky Girl, Jenny, and 50 to 1.
Yeah, look, he was pretty lucky. The seas sort of parted and he got that run through. So I don't know whether or not he can repeat that particular performance. And, you know, I never give him too much of a rap. He's a tall, gangly type. But he's a very quiet horse, and he is a winner of 5 races, and he's got numerous placings as well. So he's not hopeless by any means, and he maintains his normal looks. That's all I can say about him. He's very fit and just the same.
He got the perfect run last start, but did win, fair enough, and he's gone up in weight. He's 50 to 1 now. Barrier 10 this time, was barrier 4 last time. Lucky Girl, there is. Racing Luck, the next one. It was subject of some money coming through the All-Ups. Barrier 11 has won here at Happy Valley before.
Racing Luck, yep, only 14 starts and 1 win on the board for him, but he's a neat type, and I think he's walking out okay. He might need a slight loosen up in front, but he's got some good muscle definition in the shoulder there and a bit of strength in those hindquarters as well. So he's quiet and looking okay. Gate 11 awkward, but place claims on looks.
All right, that's the 7, Racing Luck. Yeah, gate 11. Vincent Ho's had a decent night with 2 winners. Francis Loyce had a winner as well. On to the 8, Magnetism. He can bob up at a price from time to time, and that's what he did last start. He's 31 to 1 tonight.
Hasn't been drawing great gates by any means, and gate 7 here tonight slightly better than what he's been drawing, but I think he's actually racing really well, and he's looking good too, this horse. He's a very calm, relaxed horse. He maintains his condition. He still walks out well, and he looks in good order. So from perhaps just a slightly better gate here, wouldn't be surprised to see him run another good race. That's as good as he can parade.
32 and 6.7 currently for the 8 Magnetism. You can see him on screen there. And he did come back to a little bit of form. He's quite a well-rated horse now when running third behind Lucky Girl. And a bunch finish. David Ferraris trains and Berta Rispoli will take them out. And barrier number 7 there for the 8 Magnetism. That's him on screen there. The next one we're going to have a look at will be the 9 Thunder Stomp. Another one who's really well rated at the moment. He'll be on the pace, so he should be in a nice position. Ran third behind Some Street Somewhere at his last start.
Yeah, look, his course and distance form is pretty solid, isn't it? The 1650, he's won 4 times over it, so he's capable. But last time he led and he still was unable to sort of finish in the top 3s. Oh, sorry, wasn't able to win the race, I should say. He did actually finish third. The horse looks very quiet and relaxed. He's very strong all over. He actually walks out pretty well too, so I can't put a pen through him because he parades perfectly okay if you do happen to fancy him.
Yep, he'll roll forward, you would imagine. Thunder Stomp, he generally does. Amazing Chocolate had his 6th race start last outing and he bobbed up for a place. He's drawn well and an each-way chance according to the dividend board.
Yeah, look, he was a little bit slow out of the gates and he probably lacks a little bit of tactical speed as well, this horse, but he has got himself slightly warm. As far as type goes, he's a really nice individual. He's very strong in all the right places and I think he actually parades well apart from being a little bit on the warm side, so place chance for him.
13 and 3.8 for the 10 Amazing Chocolate. You can see him on screen there. The 11 that will be the one just in behind him will be the next one we'll take a look at as Amazing Chocolate comes round this corner. 11 being Last Kingdom. He's Paul O'Sullivan going for a quick double. Neil Callan will take the mount on Last Kingdom. Barrier number 8 for him. He's did run third at his last start, and that was behind Penang Hall, and that was probably one of his better runs here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, look, he's a small horse, but seems to be walking out freely enough. He's just started to sweat up a little bit behind. Obviously, he was able to be up there last time. He was swamped right on the line, so he was there for a good part of it. I really can't knock him too much. Look, he's small, but he's neat and he's fit and he's healthy and he's well behaved, so he is parading well.
All right, that's Last Kingdom number 11. And the bottom one, Jenny, we need to look at is horse 12. And that is Ping Hai Treasure, who's had quite a few starts now, 5 in total. He seems to be getting better run by run. Here he is now getting to the bottom of Class 3. Lightweight, good barrier. Joe Moreira aboard.
Yep, and they've gone for the pacifiers as well for this horse. They've taken the blinkers off. They've just put another handler on him as well. He was pretty quiet before. Now he's got a touch of filler in his feet, and he has for a little while. That horse just behind him is just stirring him up a fraction. He's just a bit close, that's all. But he's a very, very fit-looking horse going into this race, and he does look a picture of health as well. I'd have to give him an each-way chance. I think he looks good.
6.8 and 2.1. So here's an each-way price is the 12 Ping Hai Treasure. The blinkers come off, pacifiers go on. Joe Moreira there from barrier 2 should get a nice run.
All right, that is the field for the 8th and final here at the Valley tonight. Class 3 over the 1650 metres. And Arcada is a solid favourite here, Paul, at 2.2.
Yeah, really short, isn't he? He's come up a little bit shorter here than I would have thought, but 2.2 about Arcada. We've got 7.1 about Good Beauty, 7.4 about Racing Luck. They're the 3rd and 4th favourites. The 2nd favourite is Ping Hai Treasure at 6.8. Then we go 12 Last Kingdom, 13 Amazing Chocolate, and 16 about Some Street Somewhere.
All right, Jenny. The market suggests Arcada's the one to beat. How's it look from the paddock?
I really like the bottom weight, number 12, Ping Hai Treasure. I thought he paraded really well. He was a little bit on his toes just that last couple of laps. The boys have settled him down again now, but he looked in really good order, so I'm happy to have him on top, Ping Hai Treasure, with his 121 pounds. That pacifies going on him as well. And from gate number 2, he should be able to get himself a nice run. So 12 on top of number 1, Starred Majestic, who has been out of sorts, but gee, looks well here tonight. We know he's a capable enough horse over this circuit. when he's right, but his last runs left a few question marks. But I like the way he paraded. I have to put him in. The 4, Arcada, he actually paraded pretty well. He's a very stocky, strong-bodied horse. Looks in good order. I liked his last win. And of the rest, number 8, Magnetism, who's another one that can bob up every now and again. And he's just a really fit, fluent walking horse as well. From gate number 7, need a touch of luck in the running, but should run well the way he presented. So going for a couple of roughies and a couple that are in the market. 12-1, 4 and 8 for the last for me.
Thanks, Jenny. 12-4-1, 12-1-4-8, sorry. 12-1-4-8. Amazing Chocolate, a little bit fractious, just going out onto the track, and good those rails, aren't they, Paul?
Very good. Good the old plastic rails.
Yeah, Matthew Chadwick just got his hands full at the moment with Amazing Chocolate, who's a little bit...
he's calmed down now, isn't he?
Yeah, upset, although, yeah, as you say, he's just chilling out as we speak. Man who likes to chill on a regular basis is Tom Wood. He's about to give us his selections on race 8. Tom.
Thanks, Brett. 2, 4, 8 and 11 in the final race for me. Some Street Somewhere. Martin Harley's turned up for one ride tonight. As you can see, Matthew Chadwick still having a bit of trouble there with Amazing Chocolate heading down. Looks like he wants to leap the rail the way he's going. The track staff putting the rail back that he half pie pushed over before. But Some Street Somewhere, as I said, Martin Harley turning up for one ride tonight, and this is it, his first ride for Peter Ho, and he finally got the job done last time out. Of course, he was a black type winner in New Zealand, was Some Street Somewhere. He's got gate number 1. He had gate 1 here last time out. Everything basically went to plan with him last time out. Just had the perfect run, and it all went right for him. So I'll bank on that again at 15s and 3.6. I think a card is a definite chance in this at 230 and 120 for Tony Millard. And Karis, Teton Karis yet to have a winner, I think, on the programme tonight. Just having a quick scan through the book. Yes, Karis hasn't had a winner on the programme tonight. So not many meetings go past where Karis doesn't have a winner, and he beat home Ha Ha Heart last time out and cleared out, did Arcada. Magnetism goes in. He was under pressure on the rail, but to be fair too, I mean, he actually responded pretty well to that pressure and found a second wind and chased home Lucky Girl. Was only beaten a length last start, Magnetism. And I'll throw in Last Kingdom. He's on the back up from last Wednesday night where he ran here over 16.50 at his first run. Sat outside the leader. I thought he stayed on pretty well behind Penang Hall. So 2, 4, 8 and 11 in the last, Paul.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Paul has his numbers here with for the best.
Yeah, best of the night here. The 4, which is Akada. 2.3, 1.3. Really liked his win last time. I think he's acclimatised now and can go on with it. Some Street Somewhere looks the danger for me from barrier number 1. He's come up a decent price as well. The 9 Thunderstomp, another one at a big price. He can get a nice, he could either lead or trail. It's been a good place to be tonight. And then Amazing Chocolate. I thought it was a good run from him last time. 4, 2, 9 and 10.
All right, 4, 2, 9, 10 for Paul. I'm going 10, 3, 2, 4. Sorry, Andrew's gone 10, 3, 2, 4. I'll run through Andrew's tips. He's gone with Amazing Chocolate. He made it the long shot last start. He's got it on top tonight. Good Beauty, number 3. 2, Some Street Somewhere. And 4, Arcada. And Andrew's each way player of the night is the 10, Amazing Chocolate. Where is he now? Is he...
Who, Andrew or Amazing Chocolate?
No. I'm just looking for the horse, actually, because he was being a bit restless. There's the newcomer, Casa de Forcer. I went 4, 3, 2, 12. I'm tipping Arcada like Paul, going with Good Beauty as the danger. Some Street Somewhere, who's being backed in place betting, and then Pinghai Treasure down the bottom. So 4, 3, 2 and 12. Let's go back to Jenny. Jenny has the 12 on top.
Thought he paraded really well. Pinghai Treasure, a little bit on his toes, but in a good way. Gate number 2 for him as well. Just think he's getting closer to running into a bit of form, and he's likely to be up there on the speed, so he should give a pretty good sight here. So 12 on top of number 1, Star Majestic. I need him to bounce back into some sort of form. This horse, he's a 7-time winner over the 1650, but he paraded beautifully, so I had to put him in. The blinkers being reapplied could assist him as well. The 4, Arcada, he paraded well, and I liked his win. He should have probably had 2 wins in a row anyway. He was very unlucky 2 starts ago. Definitely looks well. And the 8, I thought, was next best, Magnetism, who can bob up every now and again. He's a winner on 2 occasions over this course and distance as well, and slightly better drawn here tonight. So, in fact, he's won off 72 in the past. He's down to 68. He could possibly run another good race here. 12, 1, 4 and 8 for me.
All right, thank you, Jenny. 12, 1, 4 and 8. There is more money coming in for Some Street Somewhere, down to 12. He did look a bit of an over, as we mentioned before, Paul.
Yeah, 12 and 2.7 now for the last start winner. The play's the Akata to win, but if you want to throw in some of the ones like Some Street Somewhere or Thunderstomp round it for exotics, I wouldn't put you off either.
All right, so that's the situation for race number 8. Final race of the night. We've had a good to firm track here at the Valley since the correct weight signal went up on the first. The first was run very quickly on the clock, and we had a good to firm amendment shortly after that from race 2 onwards. All the times have been inside a standard except for the previous race, actually, which was only a 10th outside of standard. That was the race won by Moment of Power, who led all the way.
Money coming for the bottom one now too, Brett. 5.4 Pinghai Treasure. Some Street Somewhere's down to 11. Akata there, pretty solid at 2.3. Racing Lucky's on the drift out to 9.3. Good Beauty at 7.3. 14 about Amazing Chocolate, Last Kingdom, and Quinella money going through the 2.
All right. 10 races at Sha Tin on Sunday. It's of course incorporating the Osaka High from Japan, which will be between races 4 and 5. So it'll be an early start, 12:45 Hong Kong time for the first on Sunday. Rail in the A+3 position. And all races are on the turf. It's not too long before we've got the first Griffin race coming up as well. That's in mid-April. April 14 for the first Griffin race of the season. And in early April, the Sprint Cup and the Chairman's Trophy, which are great lead-ups towards the FWD QE2 Cup Champions Mile and the Chairman's Sprint Prize on Sunday the 28th. So plenty coming up. I was just having a look through, Paul, as they get ready for a start. We saw Helene Charisma win really well earlier again tonight. We know his capabilities from his earlier form. There is a 2,000 metre race, 85 to 110, on Sprint Cup Chairman's Trophy Day that John Moore could potentially head to. And I guess the Queen Mother Memorial Cup in early May might be something that he might eye off. A Group 3 with a lightweight over a mile and a half would possibly suit him.
Yeah, definitely. The further the better for him. We know he's a real stayer.
Mm.
Still 2.3 at Carter. He hasn't moved, but money coming for Pinghai Treasure into 4.7, and now Some Street Somewhere into 10 as well. So Racing Luck's the big drifter. He's out to 10, and also Good Beauty out to 7.7. Last Kingdom 14, and Amazing Chocolate's drifted out now to 15.
Yeah, the 2.12 Quinella's been smashed, as you say, but Akata hasn't really budged at all, has he, in the process, as the light comes on now?
Yeah, 2.4 now as we talk about it. But yeah, as you mentioned, the 4 and 12 was the favourite way in the Quinella, Akata and Pinghai Treasure, who's now into 4.3.
Yeah, well, it's at this time, Tom, when real heavy bets come in and we see a lot of green and brown on the screen. But Akata in the process is still pretty solid for the final race tonight.
He certainly is, Brett. 2.4 and now 1.3 here in the Get Out Stakes to round out 8 races here at the Valley. Can tell you, Amazing Chocolate was looked over by the vet at the start, but everything appeared to be okay. As we wait 4 or 5 more runners to move in. Racing Luck, they're having a bit of trouble here with the first starter, Casa de Forza. Thunderstomp, Good Beauty, Lucky Girl, Arcada, Star Majestic here for the last. 2.4 Arcada, 4.2 Pinghai Treasure, 9.8 now Some Street Somewhere, so he's come in from around about 15s. For the final race, Sunday racing coming up at Sha Tin before we head to an all-weather meeting at Sha Tin next Wednesday night. Set to go in the last. They're racing from the 1650 And Racing Luck, Magnetism, they both weren't quick away. Thunder Stomp with Casa de Force over on the outside going forward. Pinghai Treasure, Arcada and Lucky Girl up in the top 5. Some Street Somewhere from the inside gate is back over on the fence, followed by Last Kingdom, Good Beauty. He has 4 behind him. Amazing Chocolate, Magnetism back there with Racing Luck, and Star Majestic, one of the last ones at the 1200 metre mark. The time 27.30, so they are going lickety-split in front, and it's Thunder Stomp heading towards the back stretch, leading by a length and a half on Casa de Force, running second. Pinghai Treasure down on the rail third from the favourite Arcada. Lucky Girl doing it tough, 3 wide around Some Street Somewhere on the rail, and Last Kingdom between those 2 gallopers. 2 lengths away, Good Beauty, followed next to By. On the outside, Amazing Chocolate, 1.5 Racing Luck, Magnetism, and Star Majestic last as they run towards the 650. Thunder Stomp leading them a merry chase down the back by a length and a half on Casa de Force, Pinghai Treasure. Lucky Girl's come under severe pressure, but he has been 3 wide the trip. Arcada in the centre, Some Street Somewhere on the rail, travelling okay. Last Kingdom, Good Beauty, Racing Luck, Amazing Chocolate, Magnetism, Star Majestic. Thunder Stomp leading at the 250. Pinghai Treasure, Arcada. Then came Last Kingdom, followed by Good Beauty, Some Street Somewhere. Racing Luck making headway down the outside. Pinghai Treasure, Last Kingdom, Arcada. Racing Luck jumping in. Racing Luck down the outside with Last Kingdom. Racing Luck won over Last Kingdom. Photo third, Arcada, Pinghai Treasure and Good Beauty. Magnetism, Thunder Stomp, Star Majestic, Some Street Somewhere beat home Lucky Girl, Amazing Chocolate and Casa de Force, the last one. Racing Luck, Vincent Ho. So Vincent gets 3 on the program tonight and gets the job done here with Racing Luck. Nice performance. Francis Loy gets a winning double. So that's 15 winners now for the season for the Loy-Ho combination. 5-year-old by Street Cry out of Flying Success. He was charging home down the outside, and he's grabbed the prize here. Has Racing Luck in the last at around 11 and 3.3. There was a late hit on Some Street Somewhere who went brown, but he weakened out of it. 7, 11, 12 and 4. Last Kingdom second. Pinghai Treasure and Arcada 7, 11, 12 and 4 and 139.10 inside standard for the finale here at Happy Valley. And Racing Luck, Magnetism, they both weren't quick away. Thunder Stomp with Casa de Force over on the outside going forward. Pinghai Treasure, Arcada and Lucky Girl up in the top 5. Some Street Somewhere from the inside gate is back over on the fence, followed by Last Kingdom, Good Beauty. He has 4 behind him. Amazing Chocolate, Magnetism back there with Racing Luck, and Star Majestic, one of the last ones at the 1200 metre mark. The time 27.30, so they are going lickety-split in front, and it's Thunder Stomp heading towards the back stretch, leading by a length and a half on Casa de Force, running second. Pinghai Treasure down on the rail third from the favourite Arcada. Lucky Girl doing it tough, 3 wide around Some Street Somewhere on the rail, and Last Kingdom between those 2 gallopers. 2 lengths away, Good Beauty, followed next to By. On the outside, Amazing Chocolate, 1.5 Racing Luck, Magnetism and Star Majestic last as they run towards the 650. Thunder Stomp leading them a merry chase down the back by a length and a half on Casa de Force, Pinghai Treasure. Lucky Girl's come under severe pressure, but he has been 3 wide the trip. Arcada in the centre, Some Street Somewhere on the rail, travelling okay. Last Kingdom, Good Beauty, Racing Luck, Amazing Chocolate, Magnetism, Star Majestic. Thunder Stomp leading at the 250. Pinghai Treasure, Arcada. Then came Last Kingdom, followed by Good Beauty, Some Street Somewhere. Racing Luck making headway down the outside. Pinghai Treasure, Last Kingdom, Arcada. Racing Luck jumping in. Racing Luck down the outside with Last Kingdom.
Yeah, wide out. Racing Luck with the last crack at them. Over number 11, Last Kingdom, 12, Pinghai Treasure and 4, Arcada, but less than a length between all 4 of them. 139.1, which is again inside a standard, well inside on race number 8.
119.50 for the winner, 33 for a place, $30 there for second, 15.50 for third. The Quinella 7-11, 538.50. The Trio 7-11 and 12, 966. The Test 7-11 and 12, $5,090. Good win by this horse. He came from well back. The pace was on early, was a Thunder Stomp, set up some pretty quick sectionals.
Yeah, 140.3 is standard. They've gone 139.1. So again, over a second inside of standard there. And 7, Racing Luck from an outside barrier. It's been a good night for Vincent Ho.
Yeah, treble for Vincent, isn't it? He's done really, really well. He did drift out quite a lot. There was no market real support for the 7, Racing Luck. All the money came for Sun Street somewhere, went brown on the end.
He did, yeah. And he was tracking up down nearer the rail, and it looked like he might get into it, and then Good Beauty drew alongside of him. It looked like he might be winning for a portion of the stretch, and Arcada as well.
Yeah, with a good